You are listening to Round Rock ISD Football, presented by Covert Ford. Now let's head to the field with Brad Tillery.
Live from Dragon Stadium in Round Rock, Texas, iHSFAN Sports brings you tonight's presentation of the McNeil Mavericks and the Vandegrift Vipers here on the iHSFAN Network, presented by Covert Ford. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the broadcast. Brad Tillery, Joseph Duffy here with me tonight for the broadcast at Dragon Stadium as the number 5 ranked team in the state in 6A football. Vandegrift comes in with a 5-0 record, 2-0 in district play, and they'll take on McNeil. A 3-2 record so far for the Mavs this year. 1-1 in district after picking up their first district win in a little over a year last week with a 7-6 victory over Vista Ridge. And, Joseph, that was a game, and we were talking about a little earlier about how it kind of looked, just a defensive battle that McNeil, and you'll hear it from the pregame show in a little bit with Coach Scott Hermes. He had mentioned in the bye week they were really focusing on tackling in the stats and the game board out last week for McNeil.
Yeah, absolutely. After the previous week going against Maine, or losing 42-31, obviously tackling issues that you talked about, they had to find a way to respond. Eventually had a great defensive performance, did not give up a touchdown, only gave up 6 points total. Were able to carry the team on their back defensively. So I'm interested to see how they play against this stacked, explosive Vandegrift offense. Yeah,
you mentioned a pretty explosive team here for Vandegrift. They are averaging over 40 points a game and only giving up 10 so far a game. So not surprising considering their number 5 ranking in Dave Campbell's Texas football. They have beaten McNeil 7 straight in this series, 5 overall in district play over the last 5 years. Last year, these two teams played a 57-0 game that Vandegrift won on their way to the state championship. And this is a team just loaded with some top recruits.
Yeah, this McNeil defense is going to be the story how they can play against this stacked Vandegrift offense. Like you mentioned, 161-point differential total for this Vandegrift offense, scoring 215 points overall on the offense. Miles Coleman, of course, 8 touchdowns total, 7 receiving touchdowns. He's going to be a person to keep your eye on for this Vandegrift offense. They're going to have to find a way to maintain Eli Adams, Miles Coleman, Deuce Adams at the offensive front to have a chance to even win this game.
Yeah, you mentioned some key names there. Deuce Adams, the quarterback, he's a senior committed to the University of Louisville. Miles Coleman, a wide receiver senior, he's committed to North Texas for the Mean Green up there where you're from originally. And then Blake Frazier on the offensive line, the O-tackle, is going to go play for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. So if you can play offensive line for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, that means you can play some offensive line. Absolutely. Because those are road graders up there with the way they run the football.
For sure.
But, yeah, McNeil, you got their hands full tonight, but the Mavs looking to win back-to-back district games for the first time since 2021 and get off to a 2-1 start in district play. And after tonight, this is a game, it's no secret that Vandegrift is the favorite in this district, as they have kind of been the dominant force in this district for the last few years. But it's a game tonight where I think win or lose for the Mavs, you can really build some momentum for the rest of the year because every game on the schedule, extremely winnable, and a chance to fight for those last few playoff spots too.
Yeah, for McNeil sitting currently at 5th in their respective district, you cannot dip your toes in the water, I guess you could say, for this team. You have to go ahead and try to attack to the best of your ability to go against this stacked Vandegrift team. I know people may not give this team a chance tonight, but you cannot be afraid. You cannot just dip your toes in the water. You're going to have to go jump right into the pool and attack Vandegrift to the best you can, because Vandegrift is going to come out explosive. They're going to come out firing with this multiple spread offense. I'm looking forward to see what McNeil can respond with.
I am too, and we will hear what Coach Scott Hermes has to say when we step aside. He's going to come back with his pregame thoughts and then kick off after that. We're about 10 minutes and 30 seconds away from getting action happening here tonight. Vandegrift taking on McNeil from Dragon Stadium in Round Rock. So glad to have you along with us. This is Round Rock ISD Football presented by Covert Ford on the iHSFAN Network.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility, and with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. covertford.com.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs, with stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good. Longtime McNeil parent Brian Kerman is a realtor who works for RE/MAX Capital City. Brian is involved in helping Round Rock families buy, sell, invest, and lease properties in the greater Austin area. He has been doing so for over 24 years. As a thank you to the community, he will be honored to donate $1,000 to your favorite booster club or other 501c3 if you use him and you close on a property. We hope you will contact Brian for all of your real estate needs at 512-921-4490 or at briankerman@remax.net.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
Are you looking for a little something extra to get your business noticed? At Ideal Signs, they specialize in custom signage and large format digital printing in a variety of media. Their in-house design department can work with you to create custom artwork to your specifications. They'll work with you to conceptualize, design, and produce any custom projects or idea that you might have. Call 512-930-7446 or visit signsforsports.com. Ideal Signs, family owned and operated since 1969.
Back to the pregame show as we continue to count down to kickoff tonight between the McNeil Mavericks and the Vandegrift Vipers. Joining me as always for the pregame interview is the head coach of the McNeil Mavericks, Coach Scott Hermes. And Coach, welcome in.
Hey, thanks, man.
Well, first of all, let's go back to last week. Big district win, 7-6 slugfest. You had mentioned in the bye week you guys worked on tackling, and it really showed. Thought your defensive line and your linebackers especially played some great football last week.
Yeah, they did. That was the biggest thing. Is I thought our D-line linebackers played their best game of the year. You saw us downhill, D-line playing down the line of scrimmage a lot better, using their hands, doing the things that they should be doing, and no, it paid off. Yeah.
Talk to me about that last play of the game, the heads-up running at the end by a sophomore to go down at the 2-yard line instead of taking the touchdown to effectively end the football game.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, Darrell's a special talent. That whole drive was just an amazing job by our offense, that personnel group in particular, and our offensive coaching staff, and then Jarrell to be heady enough. Hey, the only way that we can mess this up is to go in the end zone. So go down and let's win the game. So that was very cool.
You mentioned that last drive. Every play, just line up under center, pound it. Seemed like the same play over and over. Realistically, is what it was. Take me through it. What was the decision making in that, and killing off the final 7.5, 8 minutes of the football game to get a win? That's pretty rare in high school football to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's we talk about having an identity on offense and what are our go-to plays. What do we hang our hat on? And all that was power. And hey, we're going to line up, and it's coming, and you've got to stop it. So that's one of those times where the offense knows what's coming, the defense knows what's coming, and so we got four downs to get 10 yards.
So we go into tonight's game. Obviously, Vandegrift, a formidable opponent, team that made all the way to the state championship game last year, the ranked number 5 in the state. What's the message to the team? What's practice like with a big game like this all week long after coming off a win last week?
Practice has been great. Our kids understand that it's we don't focus on what the other team is, right? Be the best team in the state or the worst team in the state. It's about us. It's about what we do. For us to be successful, we understand we've got to be able to run the ball, play great defense, have to be sound in the kicking game, and take care of keep possessions.
All right, well, we'll let you go. Obviously, great weather tonight. Finally, it feels under 90 degrees. It's football weather for the first time, it feels like, in Texas this year, halfway through the season.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's a great night to be out, and hope we plan to play our tails off and let the scoreboard take care of itself.
All right, Coach. Good. Look forward to watching it. Good luck tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. That sounds good. Thanks.
That's head coach Scott Hermes for the McNeil Mavericks. We're back in just a minute with kickoff tonight on the iHSFAN network between the McNeil Mavericks and the Vandegrift Vipers. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045. Visit Maze Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at mazestreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local. RJAC Pressure Washing, Epoxy and Stain. Veteran owned and operated, serving Central Texas. For the last 10 years, residential and commercial services available, here for all your decorative flooring needs. Call us at 512-593-8567. That's 512-593-8567. You are listening to the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent from iHSFAN.
Welcome back to Round Rock's Dragon Stadium as we continue to get set for the McNeil Mavericks and the Vandegrift Vipers. We're going to step aside here for just a second and be silent while they do the national anthem. No crowd mic for you tonight, unfortunately. Having some technical difficulties on that front, but in respect of our country, we'll step aside. Be back with you in just a second for kickoff of this game. Well, the anthem has been sung, and we are set for some football here on a beautiful Friday evening in Central Texas. The weather finally feels like football weather as we get in October. 80 degrees outside, temperature falling, slight breeze as well blowing north to south as we are away from 90 and 100-plus degree days. Thank you. I have been. It's been a brutal summer.
It's been rough, to say the least.
Brad Tillery, Joseph Duffy here with you tonight on the broadcast. Ike Kohler is hanging out up in Dallas this weekend as Joseph's here filling in. Ike is up there getting ready to root on his Longhorns tomorrow. I know you got the same interest for tomorrow as well.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt.
Yeah, my wife was like, hey, I want to do this tomorrow. I'm like, it needs to start around 2:30 or so. I don't even have a dog in the fight. I just want to watch the game. But it's a good one here tonight, as we're expecting for you between McNeil and Vandegrift. Vandegrift comes into this, the number 5 ranked team in the state by Dave Campbell, Texas football in 6A, and the number 2 ranked team in the Austin area, only behind Westlake. They, as I mentioned earlier, made the state championship game last year before losing to DeSoto by a count of 42-14 up in Arlington. And a test for the McNeil Mavericks tonight here in Round Rock as the fans continue to file in. But if for your McNeil, tonight I think it's really, you heard it in the coaching interview, it's all about focusing on what you do and trying to use this chance to get better. And we'll see how just kind of let the chips fall where they may tonight.
That's a good message from Coach Hermes. Just control what you can control, give good effort, wrap up and tackle and drive your feet, and just let the chips fall. This team, Vandegrift, obviously is coming with a lot of explosion. They come with a lot of hype, as we said, with Dave Campbell coming as the 5th ranked team in the state. Control what you control, give great effort, and let the chips fall, and let's see what happens.
We'll give you a quick look at the standings in the district real quick before we get to kickoff. Last night, Vista Ridge beat Westwood 26-21, so Vista Ridge found some offensive punch last night after that 7-6 loss to McNeil last week. So the standings are Vandegrift are 2-0, Round Rock 2-0, Vista Ridge now 2-1 sits in 3rd, Manor, McNeil all tied up at 1-1, Westwood 1-2, Cedar Ridge and Stony Point are 0-2. After tonight, McNeil will have played already Vandegrift, Vista Ridge, and Manor, 3 of the top 4 teams in the district coming into the evening. Only Round Rock, Westwood, Cedar Ridge, and Stony Point left on the schedule after this evening. Bryce Wilson to kick it away. The run up from the big right leg kicker. It's an end-over-end kick as boot meets leather, fielded at the goal line. Brought out by Eli Adams. Breaks out to the left side, and he's tackled at the 27. Tackle brought down by Christian Reyna. Flag down behind the play as well on the return. We'll wait to see what the laundry's about. Hold goes against Vandegrift, so that'll back the Vipers up 10 yards from the end of the play and start them inside their own 20.
Right, I'm anxious to see how this linebacker core can do for McNeil today. Bobby Holland last week, the leading tackler of this team, had a great game last week, had a TFL. Also, Caden Patty, number 34, had 12 total tackles last week, 10 solo and a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, those are the 2 leading tacklers on this football team. Holland with 49 and Patty with 43. Holland's brother, by the way, Marshall, just a sophomore. He's also got 31 tackles so far this year. Deuce Adams leads the offense on the field for Vandegrift, throws it quickly into the slot. That's caught, and down the right side goes Miles Coleman. He's got plenty for a first down out to the 25. 14-yard pickup on first down. Vandegrift going quickly. Handoff over the right side and into the pile for a quick gain of 2 or 3 yards. That's Zaid Oliver, a senior running back with the carry. Vandegrift's going to use several running backs in this contest. Looking at their stats through the year, Fournier, Oliver, and Adams, or Fournier and Oliver the main running backs, and then Adams will also take off at times. He's got 26 carries from the quarterback position so far this year.
Always a great compliment as a coach if you can have a great running back by committee offense and use multiple threats on your backfield.
They shift the formation to the Vipers. Ben Emanuel in at running back. They sit a man in motion, Miles Coleman. He'll take it on the sweep towards the near side across the 35, and he is brought down by the ankles. Should have enough for a first down. Reyna again on the tackle. It is going to move the sticks, though.
Coleman already getting active with 2 touches already in the Vandegrift offense. Still moving the chains.
10-yard pickup there. So we are just underway at Dragon Stadium in Round Rock. Adams sends the big tight end, the big wide receiver, Skoglund in motion. They'll set up a tight end, actually, and they'll throw it to the near sideline. Eli Adams on the catch. Eli out to the 46, and it's a pickup of 8 on first down. We had mentioned already that the quarterback for the Vandegrift Vipers, Deuce Adams, is committed to go play for the Louisville Cardinals. And if you haven't watched Louisville this year, they are improving quickly under the new head coach. Runs straight up the middle and into McNeil territory goes Zaid Oliver. He's out to the 46.
This Vandegrift offensive line is extremely stout. McNeil wants to stop that run. They're going to have to close those gaps a little bit more.
1st and 10. Ball goes to the right side. And a short gain of about 2 on the play. That one was out to Miles Coleman, a wide receiver who is committed out to North Texas.
Averages just under 100 yards per game receiving.
2nd down and 8 to go. Adams with all day to throw. He's got a man open deep. It's caught. It's a touchdown for the Vandegrift Vipers to Miles Coleman. We just talked about him. It is the Louisville commit to the North Texas commit. A 46-yard strike, a 44-yard strike rather, and a touchdown for Vandegrift on their opening drive. A 44-yard touchdown pass. Adams to Coleman. You mentioned Coleman's stats earlier. That is his 8th touchdown of the season receiving. As the extra point is due for Wiley Olson. That one's up and good. And your score with 9:46 to go in the opening quarter. Vandegrift takes the opening kickoff. They take it down the field, and they lead it 7-0.
Yeah, Miles Coleman, 9 total touchdowns in the season. Just absolutely outrageous in this stage of the season already. But as we said, this multiple spread offense is an absolute threat. For McNeil, they have a great chance to respond the next drive. But for this offense, I'm looking forward to see what they can do after having a little bit of a slow day last week. So, Jaden Schultz, the sophomore, the QB for the Mavericks, anxious to see what he can do against this stout Vandegrift Viper defense. Has only given up 10.8 points per game.
7 plays, 89 yards, 2 minutes, 8 seconds off the clock. 7-0 your score. Vandegrift with the lead after the 44-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Adams to Miles Coleman. Get the old scoreboard updated here. Couple of guys go back deep for McNeil. It will be Aiden Taylor and Joshua Gayden. Gayden's broken off a couple of big returns this year. Here's Charlie Reed, the kicker, to boot it away. Saw him down there pregame. He was booting on 50, 60 yards pretty consistently. Runs up, puts the leg to it. It'll be fielded by Taylor at the 1-yard line. Taylor looking for a hole down the sideline. Makes the first man miss. Ducks under the second. Man pushes his way out across to the 33, but a flag down on the play.
Solid return. If you want to try to get an upper hand here in the Vandegrift defense, you got to take advantage of those special teams opportunities. See what this flag calls for, though.
Flag on each kickoff so far. And they're going to mark this against McNeil. It's a hold. Holding was against Vandegrift early on their kickoff return, and the same goes for McNeil for their first time tonight. So the Mavs start at their own 22. I imagine it's Jaden Schultz who will be the starting quarterback tonight, as he has been this season. It will. He, of course, splits time with Gerald Gary back there, but Gary plays a little bit of everywhere.
Last week, Joshua Gayden, the lone touchdown scorer. Of course, one of the running backs they use in this offense.
That touchdown was pretty wild. Here's a handoff to Williams up the middle, and he's just stacked up quickly with nowhere to go. The lone touchdown last week was a hook and lateral on 3rd and 21.
Absolutely, 22 yards all the way to the house.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
Absolutely.
Joshua Williams, the Oklahoma recruit. He goes for 1 yard. He's the running back. Lost one in that first place. 2nd and 11 here for McNeil. Option to the left side. They'll flip it out. Williams finds a hole across the 25 out to the 28, and there's a wrinkle we haven't seen all season. Nice pickup of 7 yards.
Love the creativity right there. On this right here, about 3rd and 4, focus should not be doing anything too ridiculous. Just focus on getting to that first down marker for receivers. Oh, looks like we've got an offsides there.
No, they're going to call false start here. Flag goes against McNeil. I didn't see anybody on the offensive line move, though. Either way, what I say doesn't matter.
All that matters is what the men on the sideline see and the men in the white hat.
3rd down and 9 now after the 5-yard penalty. Let's see if McNeil continues to try to get Gerald Gary in one-on-one matchups. That's been one of the secret sauces for the offense this year. You can see him lined up down on the near side against Bryson Carter. Man comes in motion to the slot. Blitz coming. Schultz throws it quickly up in the air, up for grabs. It's tipped up. It's caught by Gary. He's still on his feet, stretches across midfield, and he's got a first down. That ball was tipped up by the DB. Schultz just threw the ball in the air because he was getting hammered as he got to let it go. Ball was bobbled up, a little tip drill, and Gary just stayed with it.
Sometimes need a few breaks in these games like this, but of course got tipped off. That's why you practice tip drills, of course, on defense and offense, so that moments like that can go your way.
1st and 10, McNeil from the Vandegrift 49 here. Option right side. Schultz tucks it, keeps it up the middle, and he'll gain about a yard or 2. A new wrinkle, like I mentioned earlier, we have not seen the option all season long for the McNeil Mavericks, and a fun time to break it out here against Vandegrift, and also something to make you think for future defenses to have to line up for, because Schultz, he's got wheels. He can absolutely run back there.
When going against stout defenses like that, you got to sometimes reach in your bag, maybe get a little bit creative. I like it, though.
I'll tell you the other reason I like it here in a second. First off, 2nd and 9, Schultz to throw. Got a man down the right sideline. It is almost brought in. Dayron Calhoun tried to haul it in with one hand and just couldn't do it, but Schultz dropped it right in the bucket there. 3rd down and 9 coming up.
So far, liking the confidence in Schultz's throws downfield. Not afraid to go down deep to his men, Gary and Calhoun. But so far, the accuracy in that throw was very well, and I think Calhoun just lost sight of it at the last second maybe.
Split back to the backfield, 3rd and 9 for the Mavs. Schultz calls for it, rolls left. It's a counter back to the near side. Williams finding room across the 45. He is tackled at the 43. And that's going to be short by about 4 or 5 yards. Here comes 4th down. Tell you, I mentioned that option, and the other reason I like it is Joshua Williams has had problems get going recently because the run game in the middle just hasn't really been there. Gets him out on the edges, like you just saw with the counter. Give him room to run where he can really get some speed going. 4th and 4. Pistol formation. Schultz changes the play at the line. It's an end around. Pitch to Gary. Cuts upfield across the 40. Lowers his shoulder, and he picks it up for a first down. He needed 4. He got 5. You mentioned the play calling being a little interesting and being creative, and there it was again.
Yeah, they're seeing what they want to see, running outside the tackles, not running right into what Vandegrift wants, which is right up the middle and up against the nose tackles. And as you saw in the beginning of the drive, they were able to snuff that out for a tackle for loss. So looks like McNeil wants to run outside the tackles for the most part on the edges.
7-0, Vandegrift leads. McNeil's first drive of the game here offensively. Schultz to throw. Stands ready, throws. He's got a man. That's Calhoun. It's caught on a sliding grab at the 22, and it's another first down.
Brad, I'm loving how McNeil is attacking on offense so far. There's no conservative play calling so far. They're going right after the number 5 team in the country.
Yeah, this is a flag come down late. What do we miss here? Conversation going on with the referees. Balls, everybody's back it up. Are they saying that he did not catch that football? It was a sliding grab. Yeah, they called that incomplete. My goodness. 2nd down and 10 now. Soltz lines back up in the pistol. I thought he caught that from our angle.
I did too.
Hands it off to Williams up the middle. Good blocking, straight through the hole. He's hit at the 28, 29-yard line. He's going to be just shy of a first down, but man, he hit that hole hard, and a really, really big lane to run through there, right up the middle.
So far, very impressive. Good block right there, number 66, Roberto Reyes, the junior.
10th play of the drive already for McNeil. Under center, Soltz goes. Quarterback sneak over the left side. He's got plenty for a first down. That'll move the sticks.
If you're Mike Reynolds right now, the OC, you're loving what you're seeing because you're also tiring out this Vandegrift defense, who's known to get off the field very quick.
I mean, the way to beat this team, you would think, is to limit their possessions as well, right?
Absolutely. It's working both sides for them.
1st and 10 for McNeil. 5:18 to go in the opening quarter. 11th play of the drive for the Mavericks here. Soltz calls for the snap. Looks right. He will throw towards the sideline. It is incomplete. Outstretched, trying to make the grab on the near side was Calhoun. Is it Gary or Calhoun? I can't tell if that's 5 or 2 down there. That's 5. That was Gerald Gary, actually. 2nd and 10. This Vandegrift team, a program that really just built itself out of nothing over the last 10 to 15 years. A relatively new school, and now have become a state power. Fakes the handoff. Soltz throws down the middle. He's got a man open. That's Gary. Caught at the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal, McNeil.
Once again, Brad, the accuracy, but most of all, the confidence going right up the middle, going right between the safeties. They're set up in the red zone now. Loving what I'm seeing right here.
Joseph, this is just fascinating football to watch. A team that's playing fearless right now, these McNeil Mavericks.
Never know what you can see in a Friday night in high school football in Texas.
Under center they go. Handoff to Gary, and he is stacked up. Good push there by the defensive line for the Vandegrift Vipers. Porter Udy, one of the men in there on the tackle. It'll be 2nd down.
Big storyline here for McNeil is how they can play in the red zone. Of course, we're not punching in much last week against the Vista Ridge defense, but going against this stacked defense, you got to take advantage of the opportunities you have in the red zone.
2nd and goal. Ball spotted at the 7 here. Handoff to Williams. Up the middle he goes. Picks up a couple. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 5. It will be 3rd down and goal.
This play more than likely going to be a pass, of course.
I would imagine this is 4-down territory, which probably means anything on the board is available right now.
For sure.
Yeah. I would be interested to see them go back to that option on this play, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Sneak it outside, and especially with the ball right in the middle of the field, it kind of leaves both boundaries open. 3rd and 5. Roll left, throw toward the corner. It's off target and incomplete. Intended out there for Zach Christie, and here comes 4th and goal, and McNeil's going to send the kicking team off.
Don't think it's a bad call here to take their points.
Oh, no. Reward a 15-play drive with points.
For sure.
Bryce Wilson jogs onto the field. Just a 22-yard field goal attempt for Wilson. He has been rock solid in the kicking game all year. Wilson 11 for 11 for extra points. This is basically an extra point, and the field goal is good. He is now 6 for 6 from the field as well. And the Mavs rather on the board after a 15-play drive. 7-3, your new score. Vipers leading, or Vandegrift rather, leads McNeil.
Absolutely. Like I said, Mike Reynolds probably loving what he's seen. Probably would have preferred a touchdown there. But like I said, you're tiring out this Vandegrift defense that's known for getting off the field quickly. You cash in and take your points. I like what I saw from McNeil right there, responding from a quick touchdown drive off Vandegrift's offense.
Yeah, that one went 15 plays. Let me do some quick math here. 73 yards is what it covered. And maybe the most important thing, 6 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock on that drive. Limiting possessions could be a key to this ball game for the Mavs.
For sure, when you have a offense like Vandegrift that's averaging 43 points per game, keeping them off the field is a way that you can maintain a way just to even try to win this ball game. So 7-3 ball game. We got ourselves a ball game here at Dragon Stadium.
Wilson will kick it away here for McNeil. Vandegrift sends a few men back. The deepest man is Miles Coleman, who already has a touchdown reception tonight. The run up and the kick. Little knuckler towards the sideline, takes a bounce in. It's going to roll out of bounds. Flag will come down for the procedure penalty, and I assume Vandegrift's just going to take it to the spot, which will be the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Brad, obviously we saw Vandegrift with that quick offensive drive last time, but if you're McNeil's defense, you're going to have to start pressuring Deuce Adams' face. Looks like they're going to
they're going to make him re-kick here and see if they can get a return. Thing with Bryce Wilson, though, he's got enough of a leg. Now, he's kicking with the wind here in this first quarter. He's got enough of a leg where this could still end up with a touchback. Going the other way into the wind tonight, I would definitely understand it a little more to re-tee this, but I'm not so sure I get this one. Of course, you're talking about the guy who takes like 7 mulligans on the golf course, so I can't talk about re-teeing. Well, another kick from Wilson on the way. That when he gets much better on. It will be fielded, though, at the 8-yard line by Coleman. Coleman cuts back up the middle, slips, keeps his footing, and he's at the 34, 35. So they do pick up 4 or 5 yards, and a late flag comes in now against, well, we'll see what against. Probably going to be against Vandegrift based on the way the kickoffs have gone so far tonight. We await the penalty call here. Refs in no rush to make it. Another hold. Every kickoff has had a holding tonight against the return team. So the starting field position goes from the 36 back to the 26.
Yeah, like I was saying before, Brad, Vandegrift with that quick offensive drive last time around, scoring again with Miles Coleman. But if you're McNeil's defense, you got to get pressure in Deuce Adams' face. He was sitting pretty comfortably last drive, was not getting much pressure in his face, didn't have to evade many pressure attempts. So great time to rebound here for this defense.
Yeah, this is a McNeil team that likes to blitz from different angles and spots as well on the field. Fake handoff by Adams. He rolls right now. He tucks it and keeps it. Plenty of grass to work with, and he slides down at the 35. Pickup of 9 on a good read there by the quarterback, Deuce Adams. They move quickly to the Vandegrift Vipers. Swings it out to the right side to Coleman. He's got a host of blockers. Takes a big hit at the 43, but it's enough for a first down. Aiden Taylor, the man who delivered the blow. Pickup of 8, though, on the play.
Vandegrift moving quick. Much contrast to McNeil's much more easygoing tempo like last drive that took off 6 minutes of the clock.
Yeah, we're already down to 2:52 to go here in the opening quarter. Just the second time Vandegrift has touched the football. They send a few players into motion to the Vipers. Adams takes the snap, fakes it, rolls left. Got plenty of time. He will throw back to the right. A man open down the middle. Instead, it's intercepted by the Mavs. Threw it into triple coverage. The ball was underthrown just a bit. And Cameron Green comes down with it. For Green, that is, let's see here, interception. I think that's his 3rd of the season. It is. And the Mavericks get the ball at their own 15 with a chance to take the lead here.
Cameron Green, of course, the senior-led defense that has so much veteran experience, taking advantage of that ill-advised throw right there by Deuce Adams, who kind of just threw it in there into triple coverage, hoping that Miles Coleman could come away with it. But great play like that by the defense, waiting to rebound. Of course, you need a big turnover like that if you want to have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, it looked like Adams might have had a man open down the right side if he had looked down the right hash mark instead of the left and toward the middle where he ended up going. A little bit underthrown there, and Green, really nice job just get up in there to secure the football. 1st and 10 for McNeil at their own 15-yard line. Williams goes into motion, and timeout called. There's some confusion happens with the Mavericks lining up. Flag came down here as well. I think they might have called the timeout just to avoid the delay. 2:44 to go in the opening quarter. Vandegrift 7, McNeil 3. If you're just joining us, the Vipers got the opening kickoff and took it 7 plays, 89 yards. It was a 44-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Adams to Miles Coleman to make it 7-0. McNeil, though, on the very next drive, goes on a 15-play march, takes up over 6 minutes off the clock, settled for a 22-yard Bryce Wilson field goal, making it 7-3. Just now, Cameron Green picked off a pass from Deuce Adams, so the Mavs with the football. 1st and 10 at their own 15 as they have their second possession of the night.
Yeah, scoring in the long run right there after a long drive is what you want to see, but if you're the OC Mike Reynolds, you want to see some sixes on that board after a while, because I'm afraid that field goals will not be enough to defeat this stout Vandegrift team.
Williams goes in motion to the right, 3 receivers that way. They will throw the bubble screen, but instead it's to Taylor, who was up there looking like he was going to block. It gets out to the 23, but flags come down, and that's probably coming back. Interesting play design, though.
Very.
Flashed Williams out to the near side like it was going to be a bubble screen to him with blockers in front of him, and actually threw it to the up man. I think some of the linemen got down the field and maybe had a crackback block. Oh, it's going to be a hold.
Good, though, for the offense, though, to keep the Vandegrift defense on their heels, though, not knowing what to expect. Like you just said right there, a play that it looks like none of us were expecting so far from that little nifty bubble screen, though. But good on the offense right there, getting creative, trying to get out in space, just got to be better with the hands right there.
I don't know that I've ever seen that as far as a bubble screen goes, like the way it was run and how they set that up. Where the hold happened at the 19, so the ball gets spotted back at the 9. It is 1st and 16 here for McNeil. Drop back, Soltz to throw. Floats one up down the right sideline, looking for Gary, and that's just well covered. Incomplete. Intended for Gary, but Aiden Jones out there playing defense.
Solid coverage right there by Aiden Jones, the junior. Of course, in this also senior-heavy defense of Vandegrift, he did a great job right there, making sure the sideline was his friend, not getting too handsy, and good coverage overall by number 22.
2nd and 10, or 2nd and 16, excuse me. McNeil still in no rush to run plays right now, even with the game clock stopped after the incompletion. Handoff to Williams up the middle. He's able to pick up 3 or 4 out to the 14-yard line. Third down and 11 on the way now. Surprised to see a couple of players with long sleeves on tonight. This is perfect weather.
Season's starting to change, of course. I mean, I guess you could say a little bit more delayed in our great state, but great weather so far this game.
I know we're in Texas and people love the heat. Come on, man. Rolling right, Soltz looks to throw, and that's almost intercepted. He was looking for Dayron Calhoun, but the Viper defense just stepped up in front of him. I believe it was Sebastian Conventon who broke up the pass, and it'll be 4th down.
Big stop right there by the Vandegrift defense coming off a turnover.
Miles Coleman back deep to receive the punt here for Vandegrift. Bryce Wilson to kick it away. 1:39 to go in the opening quarter. Wilson standing about 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Takes a low snap and boots it away. A wobbly kick that will land at about the 48 and go straight out of bounds. And I think if you're the Mavericks, you'll take that all day, because as long as it doesn't put it in the hands of Miles Coleman where he can't do anything with it, it's probably a win.
Yeah, keeping the ball away from Miles Coleman, definitely a priority right there. Straight to the sideline. Obviously not a crazy distance, but keeping the ball out of his hands, because as you saw in the first drive, he is dangerous from the get-go.
34 yards on the punt, no return. The ball at the 48 now for Vandegrift as they come out for their third possession of the ball game. Downtown Round Rock lit up off in the distance. You can see the water tower out that way, just beyond the 50-yard. It's almost like lined up perfectly with the 50-yard line as we sit in the booth up here. Empty backfield for Deuce Adams. Stands tall in the pocket. Throws one deep down the left side looking for Coleman. It's incomplete. Well covered on the play by Keegan McBride.
Keegan McBride also one of these returning starters on the McNeil defense, also an all-district selection last year. Great coverage, as you said. Also using the sideline as his friend. Ball just a little bit out of the outstretched hands of Miles Coleman.
Vandegrift takes their time getting the play on. 2nd down and 10. Adams calmly stands in the pocket. He just looks like a guy who obviously is going to play a Louisville, but he just staring at him on the field looks like a next-level player, right? He looks the part. And takes a timeout after some confusion from the sideline. 2nd and 10 still awaits for Vandegrift.
Interested to see if the McNeil defense can hold their ground here. Obviously, Vandegrift's about to start in their own territory. Back kind of against the wall. Obviously not too far deep, but still in their own territory. Coming off that turnover last possession, offense couldn't do much with it. But I'm anxious to see how they can respond here after McNeil offense couldn't get anything going after that turnover that they got.
Scores from last night in the area. We mentioned Vista Ridge beat Westwood 26-21 here in district play. Georgetown beat Leander 52-21 at Bible Stadium. Smithson Valley all over Lehman 42-7. Waco University Pflugerville topped Waco University 30-26. Travis beat up on Eastside 56-0. Good game. Downtown Austin, Buda Johnson topped the Austin High Maroons by a point, 20-19. Westlake all over Anderson 67-14. And everybody else playing tonight, we'll give you those scores at the half. There's a handoff, bringing it back around the near side, and nowhere to go. Taken down around the line of scrimmage. Bobby Holland steps up to make the play as they tried to sneak Miles Coleman on a little run play to the near side.
There's the leading tackler. Once again, we talked about in the beginning of the game. Wrapping up, letting the feet do the rest, driving through the tackle. No gain.
3rd and 10 now. They send big number 88. Skoglin in motion. Adams being chased out to the left. He will tuck it, and he just steps out of bounds. He's finally taken down, and that will be a sack technically, as it was Waidike Nwosu there to make the play for the Mavericks, and it's punt time for Vandegrift. Loss of 3 on the play.
Big-time sack right there by the junior, but as I explained before, you're going to have to make some pressure right there to get Deuce Adams moving. You cannot have him sitting right there in the pocket comfortably. They get him to evade right to his left and let the outside linebackers do the rest.
This McNeil defense has really settled down since that opening drive. Good call and get some pressure. Late substitution for McNeil on the play. The punt is booted away. It will bounce around the 25, take a Viper roll, and roll out at the 17. 8 seconds left in the opening quarter of play. 7-3 your score. Vandegrift leads McNeil. Good crowd on hand, near sideline especially. The home fans for McNeil. It's technically a McNeil home game, even though we are on the Round Rock, our Round Rock High School campus. McNeil plays at both here and Kelly Reeves. Have to do all of the Round Rock ISD schools. I think Round Rock High is the only one that permanently plays here.
Always love to see a good crowd on a Friday night. Bands also making a lot of great noise on both sides.
Love it. First and 10. Soltz on the keeper, a draw play over the left side, and maybe picks up a yard, and that is how the first quarter will come to an end. Through 12 minutes of play, we got a pretty good football game going on. The Vandegrift Vipers lead the McNeil Mavericks 7-3. Back with quarter number 2 in just a minute. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford on the iHSFAN network.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
You are listening to the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent from iHSFAN.
Start of the second quarter here in Round Rock, where the McNeil Mavericks trail the number 5 ranked team in the state, the Vandegrift Vipers, by a score of 7-3. Brad Tillery, Joseph Duffy here with you in the broadcast booth on the iHSFAN network. McNeil with the football, 2nd and 9 coming up to continue this drive and start the second quarter.
I want to see if McNeil can kind of do what they were doing that first drive again, getting a little bit creative, also taking their shots from time to time, moving the chain still, but also tiring that Vandegrift defense with long drive that sustained over 6 minutes.
They're trying to get the chain set up correctly. The down marker's in the right spot at the 18, but the chains were actually set at the 12. It's correct now. Yeah, you got to love the way McNeil played that first quarter. Defense was very solid after the first drive. Opening drive field goal for McNeil as well on offense. And now the game's kind of settling down here a bit. And I think if you tell the Mavericks if they got into a defensive slugfest tonight, they would take that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. Some people didn't even give them a chance in the Austin Metroplex. But, of course, all you can do is just control what you can control. Like, as we said, let the chips fall. Just play your game, and you'll see what happens.
Looks like the play clock is stalled out now, too. It says 9 seconds. I got to reset that. Or it's just not working. One of the two. It keeps flashing. It's off, and now it's back on. Or not on yet. While they figure out those motions, we'll at least catch you up on what's going on in college football tonight. There are a couple of games happening. One in the Big 12, the Oklahoma State Cowboys with a surprising 10-7 lead over the defending Big 12 champion K-State Wildcats. And in the Big 10, if you like offensive football, this is not the game for you. Nebraska 3, Illinois nothing. There's a snap to Soltz. He'll throw it to Gary near side. It is a little too high and incomplete. Third down coming up. At the beginning of the year, Soltz and Gary were splitting snaps at quarterback almost every other drive, but Soltz has become the main man back there at the QB position, and I think that's just because Gary's ability to line up all over the field and be a menace towards defenses just makes him a much more valuable weapon out there at running back and in wide receiver in different slots. Williams to the side, They'll fake the handoff to him. Schultz throws. He looks to the near sideline. That ball is caught by Christie. He forces his way out to the 30, and he's got a first down. Zach Christie with the catch and run, one of the other sophomores on this roster. That sophomore team that went undefeated last year as the freshman team, and it's a 1st and 10 for McNeil.
Great field recognition on the sideline right there by Christie, catching that ball behind the chains and then just putting his head down and getting tough and getting that first down.
Fake handoff, throw it out to the man who they handed off, faked the handoff to. That's Dayron Calhoun finding space around the 41, and that's another first down. Kind of snuck him out of there.
He got down the sideline in a hurry right there.
They snuck him out from an inside position there. It was very well done. There's a handoff up the middle to Williams, and he's able to hit the hole for 2 or 3. That may not look like much, but it's enough to keep the defense honest to allow those passing game to open up some more.
And we're seeing what we saw again, as I said, from the first drive, trying to tire out this Vandegrift defense. Again, keeping that Vandegrift offense off the field. See if McNeil can cash in, though, in the long run.
Vandegrift's only run 13 offensive plays tonight. There's a throw to the inside. It's incomplete. Intended for Christie and covered up there by Aiden Jones, so 3rd and 8 coming.
I know Christie may want that one back. I actually like the ball placement right there by Schultz. Quick little slant play right there that he got drawn up right there by the OC, but you got to take advantage of what the defense gives you right there. Kind of had Christie wide open. You got to come up with that catch.
Well, there's a false start against the Mavericks. Nicholas Valls came out of his stance. He's pointing at the defensive line like the defensive lineman was saying something or had moved first, but that's going to be a 5-yard penalty and back the Mavs up to the 38 and make it 3rd and 13. And even if nothing comes of this drive right now on 3rd and 13, I'll tell you the one thing they did do, the Mavericks, is get out of their own goalpost. Able to get a couple of first downs, and Schultz rolls to his right here. He's got a man. That ball's caught. That's a first down. Forget everything I just said. Aiden Taylor gets enough to move the sticks. Well, you're into Vandegrift territory.
Loving what Mike Reynolds is doing so far in the offense, giving his team a chance to even get to the down marker for the first down, not doing anything that's conservative, but he's making sure his receivers have a chance to even get the first down marker.
And after Taylor makes the big catch for a first down, he runs offside in the slot position. Back to the 45, or 46 rather, go the Mavs. And tell you what, these penalty yards, they're making up for them right now, but it's the kind of thing they've got to watch out for the rest of the game. You want to pull off an upset, you got to be clean in the penalty department.
Must be corrected, especially when we get to the late stages in the 4th quarter.
1st and 15 now. Fake the handoff to Williams. Quick throw down the slot, and it's almost intercepted. Probably should have been intercepted. It was dropped by Scott Buchanan. 2nd down coming.
Schultz kind of caught a break right there. Pass just a little bit off right there. His target.
Had some pressure coming around him. I think that rushed his throw. A lot of sophomores contributing on this offense for McNeil. I mentioned earlier, this sophomores were on the freshman team last year that went undefeated. Coaching staff's been high on their growth and development all season. You can see the early season snaps they've taken coming into play tonight. 2nd and 15. Schultz with a shoulder fake. He'll throw it down the right sideline. He's got Gary, and it's slightly underthrown and incomplete. Broken up at the last second by Aiden Jones, and if Schultz is able to float that out there a few more yards, Gary might still be running.
I tell you what, this is a game of inches so far. The DBs on both sides are overall playing great in coverage game. Obviously not getting too handsy right there, especially in that last play when he could have, as the ball was a little bit underthrown. But overall, both sides are having great DB play.
3rd and 15. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right for Schultz. Ball on the right hash mark. They'll change the play at the line of scrimmage with 8 seconds to go on the play clock. There's the snap. It's high. Soltz with a design draw up the middle across the 50. He's cut down at the original line of scrimmage. Picks up 5 or 6, and that should be punt time for McNeil. I mentioned it earlier. The drive stops, but again, if nothing else, the Mavs just flipped the field.
Yeah, for sure. When looks like the plan right there was just get a little chunk right there to try to pin them deep, especially when trying to punt right here to a great punt returner. But, you know, you get the ball in their territory off a draw play, and you have a great punter who can do the rest.
This was a drive that started inside the McNeil 20-yard line, so chance to pin Vandegrift back a little bit. Low snap. It's handled well. Punted toward the right sideline. Take a bounce, and it's picked up by Coleman at the 10 rather, and he is dropped. He did not go down. His knee was not down. He's still on his feet across the 40. Cuts back to the near sideline, still on his feet after breaking a tackle. Into Maverick territory, out to the 48 or to the 38 rather. Apparently Coleman was not brought down around the 5. It sure looked like he was tackled, but knee never hit.
If that's the case in the stands, that's a costly mistake right there by a special teams unit that was doing everything they could to make sure that Coleman could not be set loose right there in the punt return unit.
The near sideline fans are not happy.
Not liking that indeed, to say the least.
9:37 to go in the second quarter. Vandegrift with a short field to work with. They start at the McNeil 38 after the Coleman return. Deuce Adams. The quarterback sends a man in motion. He'll hand this one off up the middle and out to the 36-yard line. Zaid Oliver. About a 6 or 7 yard gain.
Vandegrift going tempo right now.
2nd and 3. They'll hand it back to Oliver. He's tripped in the backfield, but able to keep his feet, and he gets to the 26. That's enough to move the sticks. Yeah, two diametrically different offensive philosophies tonight. McNeil's trying to take the air out of the ball a bit, and Vandegrift snapping as many times as they can. Oliver taken down quickly. Tried to dance in the hole, only picks up a yard or two. Several Mavericks players there. Jaden Wellmaker, one of the men in on the stop. Second and 8. Rick Epstein trying to get the crowd going over there with the PA. And he's got them stopping. We're shaking up here in the booth.
Once again, the answer for this McNeil defense is trying to get in Deuce Adams' face. Make him try to at least move from the pocket.
2nd and 8. Man in motion is Miles Coleman, and there's a flag. And the noise looks like it helped. That's a false start against Vandegrift. Backs him up 5 yards. You know, back at old Mile High Stadium, way back in the day, they call it the Rocky Mountain Thunder because the stadium literally moved back and forth on wheels. And it would shake. It was kind of scary if you were ever at the stadium. And you feel that up here in this press box right now. This place it's legitimately moving up a little bit.
A little shake, rattle, and roll here up in the booth.
2nd and 13. Adams sends Coleman in motion. Instead, they'll hand it off over the right side. Up to the 20-yard line and tackled there is the running back Brendan Fournier.
You know, I was talking about trying to pressure Deuce Adams, but so far Vandegrift just trying to run down the throat of McNeil on this drive.
This will be 3rd and about 3 or 4. Fake it. They'll throw to Coleman in the slot. That ball is caught. He pushes forward to the 10-yard line. He's got a first down. Patty with the tackle there after the 11-yard gain. Should be 1st and goal. It is for Vandegrift. Fournier stands in, and the running back, he'll take the handoff. To the left he goes. Bulls his way forward, and he is into the end zone for a Vandegrift touchdown. Brendan Fournier, with a 10-yard rush, and the Vipers find pay dirt for the 2nd time tonight.
The junior with his 6th touchdown of the season to knock it in to make it a 2-score game here at Dragon Stadium. Great handoff right there, even in the midst of a few tackles right there. Breaks through. Easy score. Vandegrift with 13 points.
Take advantage of the short field, do the Vandegrift Vipers. Just a 38-yard drive on 6 plays as the extra points. Do here, snap down, kick is up, kick is true. And with 7:27 to go in the first half, Vandegrift leads it 14-3. 6 plays, 38 yards. 2 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock on that drive for Vandegrift. The real big play on the drive actually came before they took a snap. Miles Coleman on the kick return that he fielded at his own 5-yard line. Looked like he was taken down. Apparently the knee never hit. He got up and returned it all the way out to the McNeil 38 and allowed Vandegrift to cash in on a short field.
Yeah, unfortunate circumstance right there in that special teams play. Obviously, as we said before, you don't want to have Miles Coleman active, especially in the punt return unit. But as we saw, I mean, I don't believe this McNeil defense is in a bad space after that touchdown. Back was against the wall right there in their own territory. Vandegrift was able to cash in, but I think they're still in a good spot right here overall.
Vandegrift to kick it away. It's Charlie Reed. We'll see if we can get a kickoff here without a holding call. All 3 kickoffs tonight in this game have come back at some point from the return team holding. Here's the run up in the boot. That's going to sail out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Well, that's one way not to have a flag on the play.
What a kick that was. Just an absolute boomer right there.
McNeil, by the way, you can see the players all wearing pink socks out on the field. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Mavs wearing the pink in support. The cheerleaders have the pink pom-poms on both sides as well. Vandegrift's cheerleaders doing the same. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks.
We'll love to see some more runs outside the tackles like we saw in the first drive for this McNeil offense. It seemed like they kind of strayed away from it these past 2 drives, but I'd like to see them return to that in this drive.
Nicholas Voll is set up as an up back. Now he'll go to his traditional tight end spot. Almost a double tight end on the left side here. And now flag is thrown and might be a delay of game. Coach Hermes is not happy. I think he's complaining about the mechanisms of when the play clock started.
Once again, a costly penalty that's hurting this McNeil offense.
Starting behind the chains the last few times they've had a first down now. There's an option, keeping it on the near side. Now pitching it at the last second. Schultz gets it out, and it's across the 26-yard line to Joshua Williams. Picks up 6 on the play.
Very risky pitch right there. It ended up paying off right there for Schultz, but good pitch overall, getting the ball in his running back's hands and get to start almost where you were supposed to start.
2nd and 9 now. You asked them to go outside with the run game. There it was. Williams in motion. Schultz will throw it. He's got Williams in the flat. Catches it. Stiff arms a man. Takes it to the 30. And that'll set up 3rd and manageable at the 30-yard line.
As explained before, you got to take what the Vandegrift defense is showing you right there. They're trying to prevent anything pretty much intermediate all the way to deep. But, you know, you got to take advantage of the check down right there. Just get some yards and have a chance to have a conversion the 3rd down.
3rd and 5 here. McNeil goes heavy set in the formation. Just 2 receivers out to the right. Handoff. Left side. Williams tripped over and fell. Got hit by the turf monster there and drops a couple of yards on the play. Had some good blocking on that near side, too.
Yeah, it's a shame. I thought he almost would have had it, too, but the turf monster was not his friend right there. Looks like they're going to punt again.
Yeah, with the rain through recently, this artificial turf, it can get slick pretty fast. There you saw it. So McNeil to punt it away once again. Cole Faulkner doing the duties.
Sure, the McNeil special teams unit got talking to last time after that unfortunate circumstance. Last punt, making sure they can wrap up all the way and make sure Coleman's all the way in the ground.
Now the ball will bounce at the 50 and take a bit of a Vandegrift hop into McNeil territory at the 48. So once again, Vandegrift gets great field position to start the drive. 5:13 to go in the first half of play. 14-3, the Vipers lead the Mavericks. But a game that's starting to feel like Vandegrift's beginning to take more control over.
Yeah, for sure. A nice start for both teams overall, but the defense is trying to hold on as much as they can. Ball's been starting in their own territory now for the past 2 drives. It's time for them to stand down right here, or this will get ugly really quick.
1st and 10, ball at the McNeil 48. Deuce Adams. The quarterback stands ready. He'll hand it off to Fournier over the left side, who lowers the shoulder and gets out to the 43. Adams going to go play for new Louisville head coach Jeff Brome. Throw to the far sideline, caught by Coleman. He's off to the races and tackled by the ankles. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle there from Bobby Holland. The linebacker got out to the sideline. Still a gain of 13 and a first down.
Great blocking by the receivers right there on that last play.
They faked the throw to the sideline this time. Now fire one toward the end zone. Got a man. It is incomplete. Really nice ball thrown by Deuce Adams, but George Farley just couldn't bring it in.
Once again, Adams all day in the pocket. No pressure right there by this great offensive line that's preventing the pressure. I'm sure Farley would want that one back right there. It was a great ball, though.
I like the play call, too. They ran the fake on the same play that Coleman just got the first down on, with the fake over to him on the pass, and tried to sneak one deep to Farley, and Farley was there. Just couldn't haul it in. 2nd and 10. Fournier over the left side. Spun down at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss of about 1 on the play. Looked like Tony Shannon, the senior defensive lineman, getting in to make the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Shannon, one of the best D linemen on this defensive front. 21 solo tackles along with 35 total tackles on the season. Big time play right there to set up 3rd down.
3rd and 11 now. Ben Emanuel, the running back, stands left of Deuce Adams. Coleman in motion to the left side, and then timeout called by head coach Scott Hermes of the McNeil Mavericks. 3:56 to go in the second quarter of play. Vandegrift 14, McNeil 3, your score here from the campus of Round Rock High School. Brad Tillery, Joseph Duffy in the broadcast booth with you. Vandegrift 5-0 so far this season. They went 14-2 last year, with their second loss coming all the way in the state championship game. They were undefeated in district play last year with the Vipers. This game, though, it's already totally different than what these two teams have been playing recently. Last season, this was a 57-0 blowout.
Yeah, for sure. You can't, like, as a returning starter, you cannot, like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth when that happens. So I'm sure they were already motivated coming into this game. The coach didn't have to do much to, add it like a little salt to the wound. But when you lose 57-0 like last year, you already come motivated and ready to play against a team that kind of embarrassed you last season. So big time 3rd down play right here, and let's see what they can do.
3rd and 11. 3 receivers to the right. Coleman flashes out to the left. 5 receivers total in the formation. McNeil showing blitz from the middle. Now they back off. Deuce Adams checks the play. Coleman now in motion back to the right side. Adams drops back, throws it out to Coleman in the flat. Ball caught at the 40. Coleman with room to work. He cuts back to the 30s, tackle from behind at the 26. He's going to be close to a first down, but about a yard short.
That right there is just what excellent players do in space. They just make men miss. Looked like he could have been down right there near the flats, but he just makes a man miss, and looks like Vandegrift's getting a little tricky right here pre-huddle.
4th and a yard, and they go to that Michigan-style formation, and it is heavy set. Almost Wildcat now. Zaid Oliver takes the direct snap. Up the middle he goes, and he'll get just enough for a first down. He needed 1. He got about 1.5.
Looks like they think there's a... They thought they didn't get it on McNeil.
Little old-school single-wing football there.
Well, like I said, that play does not happen without the greatness of Miles Coleman right there in the play in the flats.
Yeah.
Making men miss. That's what great players do.
1st and 10. Deuce Adams. Plenty of time. Now he steps up, and he's going to be swallowed up in the backfield and dropped for a loss. He had some time, and then all of a sudden, the corners just collapsed on him as Tony Shannon and Bobby Holland met in the middle for a sack.
Big time sack right there by the McNeil defense. Don't have a lot of sacks as a team as a whole, but like I said earlier, you're going to have to pressure Adams right here if you want this game to go your way. He hasn't been pressured much against this offensive line right here, but with this offensive line, rather. So it's good to see them come home right there.
2nd and 21 here. There's a handoff over the left side to Oliver. Fights his way forward. He's out to the 28. Picks up 7 on the play, but it's going to be 3rd and long. 3rd and about 14 here for the Vandegrift Vipers.
This McNeil defense so far very resilient, even after that 4th down conversion, still coming right after with the sack. Have a chance to get off the field here.
Home crowd getting loud again. Timeout called. I believe Vandegrift asked for the extra time to talk this one over. 1:46 to go in the 2nd quarter. Just a 14-3 lead for the Vipers.
Very quick chat right
yeah,
there. That timeout.
Was it even a timeout, or was this an official asking for extra second? I don't really know. I'm kind of confused, which is not hard to do. I get confused quite often. 3rd and 14. Adams fakes the handoff. Rush coming. It's picked up. He throws it, and he's got a man open. That's caught for a touchdown on the left sideline. Eli Adams hauls it in from 28 yards out. The 2nd touchdown pass of the game for Deuce Adams. And that moves the Viper lead to 20-3, pending the extra point.
Yeah, Miles Coleman, often the most talked about player on this offense, but Eli Adams having a sneaky good season so far. Coming to this game, he had 348 yards, averaging 69 yards per game. Right there, it just looks like he just found a hole right there, and Deuce Adams did the rest.
Extra point is good. Your new score with 1:39 to go in this first half of play. Vandegrift now leads at 21-3 over McNeil. That was a 9-play, 48-yard drive for Vandegrift. Let's see here, took 2 minutes and 34 seconds off the clock for the 28-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Adams to Eli Adams. Sorry, we're going to try to figure out at halftime why the camera is completely off its tilt like it is. I'm not quite sure, folks. We'll mess around with it and figure it out. That's a little better.
For McNeil's offense right here, it's going to be a quick little 2-minute drill, of course, with 1:39 remaining in the ball game. Well, in the first half, I should say. But if you're Schultz right here, protecting the ball right here is priority. You're going to try to move fast and get some points against a nice Vandegrift defense. So protecting the ball is priority.
McNeil does get the football back to start the second half. So if the Mavs can find some points of any kind here, going to the locker room, just get some momentum, and then settle in and try to get to a touchdown coming out of the half. Still got a long way to go here tonight. 21-3, Vandegrift leads.
Anything can happen in Texas high school football on a Friday, any given night. I remember a few weeks ago, broadcasting for Cedar Ridge, down 19 at the top of the fourth quarter, came back to win that ball game.
I mean, how much was Baylor down by last weekend at UCF with 19 minutes to go, too? It's crazy.
20-plus points at least, yes.
Football gets weird sometimes. There's a handoff up the middle. Joshua Gaden with his first carry of the ball game. He's out to the 28. And timeout called by Vandegrift. We'll have the halftime show. You'll be able to watch it here on the network. Unfortunately, like we said, no crowd mic tonight. You can kind of hear it in the background that we don't have one. So you can watch. Eventually, we'll get you a chance to listen to these bands, these great bands that put in all this work during the offseason. I talk about this at least once a year because I think it's important. We all talk about players, and we see what they do every single week on the field. But what you don't see, if you don't live near a high school or you don't have a kid in the band, the amount of hours that the band puts in, it's insane. I happen to live right next to Rouse High School. And they're out there in the heat of the day in July and August, just like everybody else, putting in the work for their shows.
Yeah, 6 to 7 hours sometimes.
It's incredible, man. It's absolutely incredible. 2nd and 7. Snap back, another handoff. Gaden over the left side. Keeps his feet, crosses the 30, and he's able to pick up about 3 or 4. Be another timeout for Vandegrift as they try to get one more possession before the half. And, man, tell you what, if Gaden can keep his feet and not lose his balance there at the beginning, he probably picks up a little more. It just stopped him from making that cut back inside that I think he wanted to make.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like they're kind of playing a little bit safe in those first 2 plays right there. Got to be careful, though, because if you do have an incomplete pass, if you're going to pass right here, you're going to have the clock stopped, and then you have Vandegrift getting the ball back, of course, in the punt, and who knows what can happen right there with the minute 21 left. We've seen them score 2 consecutive touchdowns on drives. So
Vandegrift just used their final timeout of the half, so I would imagine McNeil's probably going to keep this on the ground. If they can get a first down, maybe they'll start thinking about opening up just a bit. If not, then you at least take another 40-some-odd seconds off the clock here. 3rd and 4. Mavericks need the 35-yard line. Heavy set formation. Gary in the backfield at running back. When they go like this, they'll usually hand it off to the speedster. Nope, they're going to throw it. Quick little pass to Christie on the near side. It's caught at the 34, and he's going to be about a yard short. Well defended on a quick tackle on the hitch play. Diego de la Valla Vasquez with the tackle. It's going to be 4th and a yard.
Christie beating himself up right there for not getting just a little bit more right there to move the chains. But on the bright side, you kept control of the ball. You keep the clock moving so that you don't have to punt, of course, if it was an incomplete pass and Vandegrift would get the ball back.
Well, the play clock is not working. That ball was snapped with about 1:20 to go, so we should be about 10 seconds or so left. I imagine the Mavericks are going to let the clock roll down, call timeout, and decide what to do. They're keeping the play clock on the field. And there is the timeout. I would bet McNeil tries to go for this. Knowing Coach Hermes, he's going to want control and get a yard, get out of the half. He can control the rest of the half this way and go into the locker room. Now, of course, it does open up the possibility, if you're stopped, of Vandegrift having a very short field and a chance to put some more points on the board before the break here.
Yeah, it would be a risky move right here if they go for it and don't get it. I would suspect that you get, again, in that heavy set package if you're going to go for it right here, but it looks like they're just going to go ahead and punt right here with Bryce Wilson, who has a great leg.
So Wilson will drop in to kick it away as McNeil opts the punt. 2nd straight 3 and out for the Mavericks. Miles Coleman back deep. That's almost blocked. A wobbly kick that'll bounce at the 40, take a Viper roll, and and go out around the 43. .22 seconds left in the first half. First and 10 for Vandegrift. No timeouts to work with. See how they decide to attack this. Of course, with Deuce Adams and Miles Coleman, you can always look to pick up some quick yardage if you're Vandegrift. And we've seen their kicker put one through the end zone on a touchback, so we know that he's got a leg for a potential field goal. First and 10. Adams drops back, throws a deep ball down the middle, and that is tipped away and incomplete. Intended for George Farley, but all credit to Cameron Green defensively there to knock that ball away at the last second.
Yeah, in the beginning right there, that throw doesn't even get off right there if it wasn't for the sensational protection right there by this great offensive line of Vandegrift. But like you said, great coverage right there, deep. They've been going down there deep all day with Coleman and Farley. Great stop right there. Here's second down.
Second and 10. 15 seconds left on the clock. Adams to throw. Plenty of time. Escapes up the middle. He's going to tuck it and run. Out to the 50. Picks up a block to the 45 of McNeil, and he steps out of bounds with 8 seconds to go. Smart running there to get out of bounds at the last second after picking up the first down.
Suspect that Vandegrift's going to look for a big chunk right there for maybe like a big time field goal opportunity in the late stages of the half, but
may not have time with 8 seconds. You might try to kick up 5-10 yards here and get out of bounds. First down does stop the clock if they can get it. Adams to throw. He'll throw it near sideline, and it's too tall, intended for his big man out there. Chase Skoglin, big tight end, and he just overthrew completely. 5 seconds left, and decision time if you're Vandegrift. Do you want to try a quick hitter again to the sidelines that maybe burns 4 seconds, or do you just chunk one to the end zone? They'll put 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. The near side is Miles Coleman. Looks like the Hail Mary is on. Final play of the half. Blitz coming. Stepping up Adams. He's going to chunk it. That's going to make it in the end zone. Jump ball in play. It is tipped. It is caught. Touchdown, Vandegrift. Jordan Oliver brings in the tip, and Vandegrift gets the Hail Mary at the end of the half.
Once again, an unfortunate circumstance right there for McNeil. Tip drill went their way in the beginning, but unfortunately did not go their way right here for the Hail Mary attempt.
Well, for Adams, that is touchdown pass number 3. .45-yard Hail Mary. Extra point up and good, and your score at the half, Vandegrift 28, McNeil 3. Back with a halftime show, run you down local scores and get you caught up around the action just for a minute, and then we'll step aside for halftime. 28-3 your score. Vandegrift leads McNeil. Back in just a minute. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility, and with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. With stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good. Longtime McNeil parent Brian Kerman is a realtor who works for RE/MAX Capital City. Brian is involved in helping Round Rock families buy, sell, invest, and lease properties in the greater Austin area. He has been doing so for over 24 years. As a thank you to the community, he will be honored to donate $1,000 to your favorite booster club or other 501c3 if you use him and he close on a property. We hope you will contact Brian for all of your real estate needs at 512-921-4490 or at Brian Kerman at remax.net.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
Are you looking for a little something extra to get your business noticed? At Ideal Signs, they specialize in custom signage and large format digital printing in a variety of media. Their in-house design department can work with you to create custom artwork to your specifications. They'll work with you to conceptualize, design, and produce any custom projects or idea that you might have. Call 512-930-7446 or visit signsforsports.com. Ideal Signs, family owned and operated since 1969.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045. Visit Maze Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at mazestreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local. RJAC Pressure Washing, Epoxy and Stain. Veteran owned and operated, serving Central Texas for the last 10 years. Residential and commercial services available. Here for all your decorative flooring needs. Call us at 512-593-8567. That's 512-593-8567. You are listening to the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent from iHSFAN.
Halftime in Round Rock, where the Vandegrift Vipers lead the McNeil Mavericks 28-3. Brad Tillery, Joseph Duffy here with you from the broadcast booth on the iHSFAN Network. So glad to have you along as we catch up on what happened in the first half. The Vandegrift Vipers took the opening kickoff and went 89 yards on 7 plays. A 44-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Adams to Miles Coleman made it 7-0 in favor of the Vipers. McNeil, though, answered right back. A 15-play drive for the Mavericks that stalled out at the 5, but 15 plays, 73 yards, 6 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock, and they would kick a field goal to make it 7-3. Vandegrift, the next possession, would end up throwing an interception. It's picked off by Cameron Green, his 3rd interception of the season, and the Mavs have some momentum. They get the football at their own 15 with a chance to take the lead, just nowhere to go with it, though. 3 and out for the Mavericks. They would punt. The defense, though, did some work. They would also force a Vandegrift 3 and out. The Mavs got a nice little drive on their next possession, a 10-play drive that would stall out in Vandegrift territory, forcing a punt. And this is kind of where Vandegrift just began to take the game over with about 9:37 to go in the second quarter. They would take the football from the McNeil 38. It was set up on a great return from Miles Coleman on a punt. And this is kind of where the game changed. I think that punt return changed the football game. It was 7-3 at the time. Coleman fields the ball at his own 5. Looks like he's tackled at his 5-yard line. The referees say, nope, knees were never down. He takes off, gets all the way to the McNeil 38, and the Vipers would cash in on a 10-yard touchdown run from Brendan Fournier to make it 14-3. Mavericks offense get nothing going on the next drive. A quick 3-and-out. Vandegrift got great field position again at the McNeil 48. This time, the cash-in came from Deuce Adams' second touchdown pass of the game. This one to Eli Adams on 3rd and long. That made it 21-3. McNeil got the ball back with 1:39 to go. They would go 3-and-out, coming up a yard short of the needed first down that would have ended the half. They punted away. Vandegrift gets it with 22 seconds on the clock at their own 43. A scramble from Deuce Adams on 2nd down gets them to the McNeil 45. There's 5 seconds left on the clock. Vandegrift says, we're just going to chuck one to the end zone, and sure enough, the Hail Mary works. It falls into the hands of Jordan Oliver, and that is how we end the half, 28-3 in favor of the Vandegrift Vipers. And Joseph, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, so far it was very close in the first 6 minutes of action. We saw a nice little back and forth in the first quarter. McNeil trying to tire out that Vandegrift defense, but overall, not what you want to see at the end of the second quarter, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I know you're not getting a lot of favors with the ball starting in your own territory, but at points you got to try to pressure Deuce Adams. He wasn't getting much pressure in his face, especially in the end of the second quarter, and so it led to a lot of chuck passes, of course with some accuracy to Eli Adams and Miles Coleman down the field, especially on the Hail Mary attempt that sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, but it almost looked like, as you said during the break, it was a little bit coordinated with Miles Coleman right behind that little tip in the end. So Miles Coleman with 2 touchdowns in the day, obviously has 9 receiving touchdowns in the season so far. Eli Adams once again having a solid day, often the forgotten man on this great offense. But overall, Vandegrift is playing excellent as we expected in this game. McNeil's offense, I'm anxious to see how they can respond after only putting up 3 points. We thought that they could possibly bounce back after that first score that kind of tired the Vandegrift defense out a little bit on that 6-minute drive. But I want to see how they can respond in the third quarter, especially with their backs against the wall.
Let's take a quick peek around the area for scores going on tonight. We mentioned last night's scores earlier, so we'll stop there and just begin with games going on this evening. The Battle of Bastrop between the Bears and the Cedar Creek Eagles, 34-0. Bastrop all over Cedar Creek tonight in that rivalry matchup there at the half. Round Rock on the road in Manor, they lead the Mustangs 21-7 at half tonight. Stony Point on top of Cedar Ridge, 12-7 over at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. They're also at the break. Georgetown Eastview leads 21-17 over Glenn. Halftime there. Starting in the third quarter, Rouse on top of Belton, 24-7 over at AC Bible Stadium in Leander. Killeen Chaparral, 23, Elgin 3, that game at the half. Robinson, 21, Salado 7, halftime there. At the break, Granger 14, Iola 7. Late in the second quarter, Lake Belton 38, and they lead one of my favorite nicknames in all of high school football, the Killeen Kangaroos, 38-14. The Kangaroos trail tonight. College Station 35, Cedar Park 7. Halftime there, and that's a score just a few years ago. College Station's got a good program, but Cedar Park being down 28 at any point would just be an eyebrow raiser several years ago for a power of their caliber. Not something you see, especially over at Gupton Stadium. College Station A&M consolidated 28, Hendrickson nothing over at the field, halftime there. Cleburne 7 and Colleen Ellison 7. They're all tied up in a defensive battle. Manor New Tech 18, Austin Achieve nothing, second quarter. Smithville 8, LaGrange 6, second quarter there. Also early second quarter, Canyon Lake 21, Marble Falls 7. Late in the second quarter, Dripping Springs shutting out Aikens 35-0. Midway through the second, the Taylor Ducks 20 and San Antonio Davenport 14. Halfway through the second quarter, Wimberley all over Gerald 35-7. They are nearing halftime. It's Cameron Yo and Little River Academy all tied up at 21. The Hippos of Hutto have a 21-16 lead over Killeen Harker Heights. That game late in the third quarter. Lake Travis a 31-0 lead on the road at Del Valley. Midway through the second there. Good luck with fight and traffic on the way home after ACL Fest tonight, guys. Hewitt Midway a 24-8 lead over Temple. That game is still in the first being reported. Troy a 14-3 lead at Rockdale late in the second quarter. 5:06 to go in the second. Holland leads Thrall 21-7. Lexington 41, Florence nothing. That game 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Just starting the second, Weiss leads Copperas Cove 14-7. Weimer 21, Thorndale 7. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter there. Navarro trails Crockett 14-3. Burnett and Lampasas all tied up at 7. That should be a pretty good atmosphere. If you've never been to Lampasas for a football game, by the way, that's a really fun place to go catch a football game. They have seating on all sides, including one of the end zones.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun up there for a game. But a good football game between Burnett and Lampasas tonight. McCallum 35, Northeast nothing. That game midway through the second. And that wraps up your scoreboard on the high school side tonight. Updates from the college ranks. Oklahoma State leads K-State 20-7 at the break. And, oh, my goodness, we have an offensive explosion in the Big Ten. Nebraska, 17 whole points for the Nebraska Cornhuskers as they lead Illinois 17-0 in the second. I don't know what they're break them up, man. That's way too many points for Nebraska in the Big Ten. If that was Iowa, you would get like 7 promotions. Here at the break in Round Rock, Vandegrift leads McNeil 28-3. We're going to step aside here for just a bit, back in about 15 minutes with the second half. Stick around with us on the iHSFAN Network. back at Dragon Stadium as we set for the second half of this matchup between the Vandegrift Vipers and the McNeil Mavericks. Brad Tillery, Joseph Duffy up here in the broadcast booth with you as the Vipers lead McNeil by a score of 28-3, a lead that was extended at the last play of the first half on a Hail Mary from about 45 yards out. It will be the Mavericks getting the football to start this second half, and we'll see how they try to attack the Vandegrift defense. They've had some success, Joseph, in that first half moving the football. You mentioned that 15-play drive that ended in a field goal. They also had a nice long 10-play drive midway through at the beginning of the second quarter. But it's been feast or famine. It's those two drives, but then it's 3 3-and-outs so far for McNeil on offense.
Yeah, they start to lose a lot of their gains towards the middle of the second quarter. A lot of 3-and-outs, as you said, right there, because Vandegrift was just getting off the field. I like what they were doing in the beginning of the game, running outside the tackles, not running up the gut, because right there that Vandegrift could feast. But I want to see what McNeil can do. Obviously, down 25, I look forward to seeing them pass much more. So this should be interesting what we see in the second half, down 25.
Opening kickoff of the second half sailed through the end zone for a touchback, so it will be 1st and 10 for the Mavs at the 25 to start this third quarter of play. A beautiful night for football. We get to sneak our head outside for a few minutes there. Yeah, out of the booth. It's still a little warm up here in the booth, but, man, you get outside and that breeze starts hitting you. It's nice.
We deserve it, though, after an unrelenting summer we've experienced.
Mavs go under center in the old-school I formation. Handoff to Williams, and he gets just back to the line of scrimmage no more. That's a formation we haven't seen much of lately. In the opening week of the season, McNeil was in the under center single back I a decent amount.
For Coach Hermes right here, trying to see what your team can do responding down 25 points. If they still have some pride left, they're willing to be tough, even in the face of a 25-point deficit.
2nd and 10, Soltz escapes the pocket up the middle, breaks the tackle. Out to the 27, 28-yard line. Picks up just a few. It'll be 3rd and medium. Ben Booher with the tackle. Vandegrift fans on the sideline, mostly packed up around the 50. Players over there jumping up on 3rd down, trying to make some noise and encourage their team on. It is 3rd and 7 for the Mavs. Empty backfield for Jaden Soltz. He'll drop back. Blitz coming. Tries to escape the pocket. He can't do so. Dropped about a yard back from the line of scrimmage. It was Boer again on the tackle, and it's 4th down.
This Vandegrift D-line is just too ferocious right there, especially up the middle. Pocket collapsed after about a second and a half. Wasn't much Soltz could do right there. Just had to eat up that sack.
3rd straight possession that McNeil has gone 3 and out. Miles Coleman back deep on the punt return team for Vandegrift, as Bryce Wilson will kick it away. Low snap. They're coming after it, but he's able to boot it. A high knuckling kick that will be fielded at the 46 on a fair catch. So fantastic field position for Vandegrift to work with. 9:59 to go in the third quarter. We're just back underway. See how long the Vipers decide to play Deuce Adams at quarterback. He has 3 touchdown passes tonight. He's thrown 1 pick as well. Imagine if they get far enough out there, they will pull him at some point. First, though, a handoff over the right side, cutting back up forward, maybe gaining a yard or 2 there, is Brendan Fournier. Tackled by Tony Shannon on the play. It's 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard pickup.
Shannon getting down the edge in a hurry, going right down the line of scrimmage. Keeping his eyes inside as well.
Adams fakes the hands off, throws it down the left sideline. That is caught by Coleman at the 15. He'll step out of bounds inside the 15. A long pickup and a 1st down inside the red zone. Officially mark him out of bounds at around the 12.
Coleman just blowing by right there like we've seen him do all game, and Adams taking advantage again with accuracy just shy of the touchdown.
41 yards on the game. 1st and 10 from the 12. Adams fakes the handoff and keeps it himself around the left side, picks up a couple. Bobby Holland with the tackle. Gain of 2. It brings up 2nd down and 8. Vandegrift can pick up a new set of downs if they can make the 2-yard line. Late substitution as Eli Adams goes to the near side by the boundary. Bobbled snap. It is handled by the running back, and he'll just run it into the pile. Don't think that play was meant to happen that way.
It
but
almost looked intentional.
Yeah, Zaid Oliver heads up. Ball was mishandled by the quarterback, Deuce Adams, and Oliver just snagged it and ran forward. He lost a couple, but that could have been a lot worse for Vandegrift. 3rd down.
For McNeil, big-time opportunity for a stop here just to limit Vandegrift just to a field goal opportunity after a deep shot to Miles Coleman again. Big-time stop potentially.
3rd and 10. Oliver motions out. Instead, they'll fake the handoff, fake the sweep. Adams escapes the pocket. He'll throw it in the end zone, and that's a touchdown. Well done by Deuce Adams with a man in his face, backing up, and he floats one to the wide-open Jay Skoglin. The tight end kind of got by everybody, snuck through the end zone, and in that back left corner was standing by himself. It's a touchdown for the Vipers.
Sometimes it's called just getting out-athleted right there. Bobby Holland just whiffing a little bit on that tackle right there, just missing Deuce Adams right there, and Deuce Adams doing the rest. Once again, going to Skoglin, the tight end. Another touchdown, the 4th passing today by Deuce Adams.
Extra point good. And your score with 8:19 to go. In the 3rd quarter, your new score is 35-3 in favor of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vandegrift once again, 5th touchdown of the game so far. 4th passing, as I said, by Deuce Adams. Great ball again, evading that sack attempt. But Bobby Holland right there, he was just inches away, and that's why I like to call again out-athleted right there, some may say. But a great play by Deuce Adams. This defense back against the wall almost all day. They haven't had much help right there with the ball starting almost in their territory right there. The ball was starting almost about the 42-yard line.
Yeah. Good. Sorry.
Yeah, but for the most part, the ball hasn't been much deep in Vandegrift's territory. So just great play again by Vandegrift.
5 plays, 54 yards on the drive, 1 minute, 40 seconds off the clock. As Adams, with his 4th touchdown pass of the night, finds Jay Skoglin from 12 yards out. 35-3 the score. Vandegrift to kick it away once again. It is Charlie Reed with the run-up. The big right-footed leg to it. And that's going to sail all the way through the end zone and out for a touchback. Didn't even land until we got past the white in the back of the end zone. This is a really good contest for the first quarter and a half or so tonight. 7-3, and then in about the last 11 minutes of game time, Vandegrift has gone on a 28-0 scoring spurt.
Great teams find a way to win even when faced with adversity, such as like the first quarter and a half, but great plays overall.
They have scored on their last 4 possessions, have the Vipers. Jaden Soltz back out at quarterback with Joshua Williams behind him. 2 receivers on each side for McNeil. Soltz drops back, looks to throw. He's got time. Escapes out to his right, being chased from behind. He'll throw down the sideline. It's incomplete. Intended for Bo Baker. It'll be 2nd down.
Great job right there by Soltz, just keeping his eyes downfield, not wavering even when pressure in his face. Trying to get his feet set, just ball a little bit too low for the receiver target right there.
2nd and 10, and McNeil's offense trying to get a spark going. They have gone 3 and out on each of their last 3 possessions. Handoff, Williams tries to cut it back over the right side and just picks up a yard. And a late flag coming in as well. Kind of look like some post-tackle antics going on after that one. The way the point in this is going to go against Vandegrift. It will. Personal foul against the defense. That's 15 free yards, and it'll be a first down. First down for McNeil since that 10-play drive midway through, or at the end of the first and beginning of the second quarter.
Overall, Vandegrift is typically very disciplined. Not many flags tonight. Shocking to see that personal foul late on that tackle.
Baker in motion across the formation. Soltz to throw. Looks down the right side and incomplete. Both the receivers that way well covered. There's nowhere to go for Jaden Soltz. Well, if you're looking ahead for the Mavericks, it is nothing but district play the rest of the way here. But this obviously Vandegrift team most likely going to be the best team in this district and arguably the best team in Central Texas right now. Next week, first of all, this is a run play from Williams being dragged down by the jersey, spun around, and still able to pick up 5 yards. They'll pick up 3rd and 5. Next week, they'll this McNeil team will take on Westwood over at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. And a game against Round Rock, Stony Point, and they'll end it with Cedar Ridge. A manageable schedule from here on out. And it's going to be a fun fight for those last couple of playoff spots. Soltz looks to throw. Finds a man in the slot, and it's in and out of the hands and incomplete of Dayron Calhoun.
Once again, a drop ball, costly for McNeil right there. Got to help your quarterback out right there. I'm sure he wants that back, but looked like he tried to have a body catch right there, just bounced right off the front of his pads.
Yeah, pretty good throw, and Calhoun was about a yard past the sticks. If he could have hauled it in, it would have been a first down.
Got to help your young quarterback out, especially down this now 32-point deficit.
7:05 to go in the third quarter. McNeil to punt it away once again. End over end boot. Fielded by Miles Coleman. Breaks out of the first tackle, coming toward the near side. Over the 30 to the 35. Picks up a block. Still forward on his feet, and he's out across the 50. About a 26-yard return for Miles Coleman. And it is great field position once again for Vandegrift.
Miles Coleman is having himself a day once again, Brad.
He's been impressive to watch, and tell you what, the Mean Green up in North Texas, they're going to have themselves a player next year.
Going to get a good one. Even if he somehow does not make it into that, starting spot as a wide receiver or even on the depth chart anywhere, when you have an opportunity to give your offense a good chance, to be in good field position.
Yeah, at minimum, that's a guy who can start as a return guy, right?
Sure.
Year one, you would think.
He has all the tools, it seems.
There's a handoff. Fournier over the right side. He has stood up and dropped for just a 1-yard gain. Ran right into the waiting arms of Jarrett Black. The senior linebacker steps up to make the tackle. That was Ben Emanuel on the run, by the way. Second down and 9 coming up. Chase Skoglin goes in motion to the left side. Fake the handoff, throw to the near sideline. It's low, but it's hauled in. Jordan Oliver, who had the tip drill catch on the Hail Mary earlier, picks up 4, 3rd and 5. Vandegrift, they were going at warp speed in the first half, kind of slowing the game down now, up 32. And that's going to be movement. Should go against the Vipers and back them up 5 yards here. Play is blown dead. It will be a false start.
Overall, Vandegrift has not committed any penalties. Well, many penalties, as I said before. Signs of what great teams do. Solid veteran, senior-led team that wants to right their wrongs from last season after kind of getting thumped last year against DeSoto High School last year in the state championship.
3rd and 11. Adams escapes out of the pocket, tries to anyway, and then he's dropped down behind the line of scrimmage for a sack. Tony Shannon makes the play. Loss of a couple of yards, and the Vipers will have to punt it away.
Shannon is also having a great day. I know this defensive unit may hang their heads after this game, but Shannon has had a pretty solid day overall.
You know, really, when you look at the score line, you know, yes, it's a 32-point game, but when you look at the scores themselves, it's been the big play tonight for Vandegrift.
Yeah.
44-yard touchdown pass, a 28-yard touchdown pass, a 45-yard Hail Mary, and a 12-yard touchdown pass. So three of their 5 touchdowns tonight for Vandegrift, as this punt will check up and roll at about the 12-yard line where it's down. 3 of their 5 touchdowns have been 28 or more yards. They haven't had that grinding drive for the most part. Ball down with 4:37 to go in the third quarter, 35-3. Vandegrift on top.
As I alluded to earlier, you got to help your young quarterback out here in these late stages. Dropped body catches just cannot happen at all.
Soltz taking his time to get the play in. He'll hand that one off. And that is Joshua Gaden, rather. Gets out to the 18 for a pickup of 6 on first down.
I know they haven't had a lot of signature gains today, Brad, but these running backs are running hard regardless. I will say that. They're running hard. They're turning their feet. But this Vandegrift defense is just too good so far.
2nd and 4. McNeil's band over here playing a song that their kids probably think is the oldies. And I'm sitting here going, man, that was when I was in high school. And now I realize I'm old. There's a handoff. Gaden gets through the hole, picks up about a yard or 2 out to the 20. Brings up 3rd and short. Pretty sure I actually saw them in concert the year that song was. It was The Offspring in 2000. And I saw them in concert the same year that song went large.
You might have to help me out here, Brad. I didn't recognize that song.
That is Pretty Fly for a White Guy by The Offspring. You probably were not born yet, sir. Soltz tries to keep it over the near sideline, and he will be stood up and dropped for a loss of about 2 or 3 on the design run, and it'll be 4th down. Another 3 and out for the McNeil Mavericks. And it looks like Vandegrift's going to start bringing in the subs a little bit. George Farley will get a chance to return this one.
Once again, going to be nice field position for the Vandegrift offense once they receive this punt.
I'll be interested to see if Vandegrift sends Deuce Adams back out. A low punt that will take a McNeil hop. Kind of the first time tonight McNeil's gotten a good bounce on a punt. This one rolls to the 44 before it dies there. Vandegrift still gets great field position. 2:29 to go in the third quarter, rather. I got a feeling we're probably at the end of the night for Deuce Adams.
And If that is the case, what a night it has been for him. What more could you ask for your hyped quarterback that's going on the road and trying to compete against a team that just got a nice defensive stand last week?
A little surprised he's back out there.
Wow.
Kind of figuring into the third quarter up 32. You might think about pulling your quarterback instead of taking some more hits after taking that sack on the last drive. Straight up handoff this time up the middle, running directly into his lineman, Zaid Oliver. Picks up 2 or 3 after the push. Kind of ran right up into the back of Jacob Henry there on the offensive line. 2nd and 7. My man Joseph over here, he goes, "Hey, did you know Jacob Henry is the son of world's strongest man?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" As Oliver is taken down for a loss of about 1, dragged down by the chest from Tony Shannon. Just kind of reached up with one arm and grabbed him. 3rd and about 7 or 8 coming.
Yeah, as I was doing my research, I had to do a little bit of a look up who this stout Jacob Henry kid was, and I see that he's related to one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Who knew?
The world's strongest man and Austin legend, Mark Henry. See him all the time at Austin FC games or UT games. I've seen him at several UT basketball games over the years. 3rd and 8. Vandegrift sends Miles Coleman in motion to the right side. Now back to the left. Adams, and there's a flag thrown as an illegal motion goes down. Kind of feel bad for Miles Coleman. They made him run about an extra 40 yards in that play for nothing. Just across the formation, back and forth.
When you're a great athlete like that, you can just shake it off and move on, honestly.
As I sit up here and eat pizza crust. 3rd and 13 coming up for McNeil. See, Joseph recently played high school football just a few years ago. Like we were talking about this at halftime. So he's still in shape. me, the middle-aged fat guy over here is eating pizza at halftime.
Oh, don't do yourself dirty like that, Brad. You're not a fat guy.
Just big bone.
Big bone.
3rd and 13. Adams to throw. Scrambles out right. There's plenty of time. Flags coming into the backfield, and he'll be forced out of bounds. Chased out by Bobby Holland. I think it's going to be a hold that I'm sure McNeil will decline. Good coverage downfield for McNeil there. There's nowhere to go for Adams with the football. And it will be a hold against the offense. Penalty declined, and that'll force a punt.
The
Wait,
high standards.
Why are they moving the football? There we go. Sorry, what were you saying, Bob?
Yeah, well, with the high standards that, Vandegrift has as being a winning program, I have to think that Coach Sanders may not be liking the lack of discipline so far in the second half. We've seen, of course, the personal foul. We've seen holding. We've seen illegal motion so far. Don't think he's liking what he's seen the second half for discipline-wise for the team that's trying to make a state playoff run once again.
Yeah, this is 2 straight 3-and-outs now for Vanderbilt. Or I keep saying Vanderbilt, Vandegrift. And, yeah, I think you're right. You're a team that went to the finals last year looking to make another deep run, and holdings on 3rd and 13 when your quarterback's buying you extra time and players not getting open. McNeil's still playing hard out there, which you love to tip your cap to that, and those guys being down 32. But, yeah, from a Vandegrift point of view, I'd imagine that coaches have some game tape they can go back to here in the week and not be too happy about.
Yeah, for sure. I know you obviously look at the score if you're the player and you say, why is coach going after us for this? We're up 30-plus points. But in the long run, it matters for sure. In the late stages, I know this district is, not too much of a competition for Vandegrift's point of view, but it matters a lot when you get to the state playoff run. And those late stages, it matters if you can get those, if you have less mistakes, less penalties in the long run. Got to have that corrected, especially in these moments right here.
It is 4th down and 13. Vandegrift brings on the punt team. There is a wobbler that will be fielded by Aiden Taylor at the 24. Next couple of them miss. Keeps pushing forward. And he'll finally be stopped around the 30. 44 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We look at Vandegrift and what they did in the pre-district play. You know, they challenged themselves. They played Dripping Springs to start the year, and Dripping Springs is a very, very good football team. Vandegrift won that one by 20, 27-7. We mentioned Cedar Park in kind of an eyebrow-raising score earlier. They throttled Cedar Park 41-17, and then took on Waco Midway, a traditional power here in the state of Texas, and a 48-17 win in that one. In district play, they've beaten Stony Point 48-7 and Manor 51-6. Here's a handoff to Williams. Big hole on the left side. He's able to get about 6 yards out to the 36-yard line. The Mavs not really in any rush here. I'm just going to run their offense. And I think at this point, Joseph, this is a chance just for McNeil to work on their offense and get ready for the future play. Get ready for future games, right? Do what you do. Don't worry about the scoreboard here.
Yeah, for sure. Like we spoke about earlier, the schedule does get a little bit easier for them as they head into the end of the district play schedule. But when you play Vandegrift, you know, this team is just too stacked overall, coming in as the number 5 team ranked in Dave Campbell's Texan football. They may even get adjusted after this game. But this is a time to prep. You know, don't hang your heads too much. This is a great Vandegrift team. You do want to get better and improve, especially in the offensive side of the ball. But overall, this team, they don't have anything to hang their heads on. They still have a good schedule ahead of them. Anything can happen in district play.
Joseph Williams' last play had a first down run negated on a hold. So back to the 26 go the McNeil Mavericks. Second down and 14. And that will end the third quarter of play. 12 minutes left to go here in Round Rock. Vandegrift leads it 35-3 over McNeil. Back with the final stanza in just a minute. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford on the iHSFAN network.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
You are listening to the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent from iHSFAN.
Start of the fourth quarter, 35-3. Vandegrift leads McNeil. It is second down and 14 for the McNeil Mavericks from their own 26-yard line. Brad Tillery and Joseph Duffy here in the broadcast booth with you on the iHSFAN network as we begin the final frame of action this evening. Soltz with a fake handoff. He'll throw. It is tipped. It's intercepted. Going back the other way, it'll be a pick six for the Vandegrift Vipers. It looked like Aiden Jones was there to get the tipped ball and take it to the house and extend the lead.
A lot of tips today on both sides of the ball. That one once again goes in Vandegrift's favor. Way to be aware right there for the DB, Aiden Jones, the junior. Taking it all the way and with a little bit of an escort as well.
Down the sideline he went for the touchdown, as that is Jones' third interception of the season. Extra point is due here for Vandegrift. Wiley Olson, the sophomore, getting a shot at it, and the kick is good. First play of the fourth quarter goes for a Viper touchdown, and they now have extended the lead 42-3 to begin this fourth quarter. You mentioned it earlier in the off-air. We were trying to figure out, like, man, what are they playing for the Vandegrift fight song? And it's not one you hear often. It's actually, a lot of the schools take from other colleges,
yeah,
right, for their fight
other
song.
colleges.
They're playing LSU.
Playing
Yeah,
LSU.
It's a tip of the cap.
A little ode to Baton Rouge, a little bit of a different fight song that you don't always hear in the high school ranks, but nice to hear a different fight song every now and then. We talked about it earlier, too, with McNeil having an atypical kind of fight song, not the typical little jingle you hear with a lot of high schools.
I think it's we mentioned earlier, I think it's an original. It's not one that I can place with a college, unless it's a different school that I've never heard of.
Yeah,
but
it didn't sound familiar.
I played enough NCAA back in my day where, I've heard some fight songs after, working my way up through the coaching ranks and recruiting like a madman.
Oh, let me guess. Were you working with one of those FCS schools, building a dynasty?
No, I think my first. I think I started somewhere like North Texas actually, and then took the job at Utah and made Utah into a national power, which was pretty amazing. And this was back when Utah was in the Mountain West. So
I'm a legend in Wyoming, by the way.
see, that's the way to go. Charlie Reed kicks it off. End over end. It's fielded by Joshua Gayden around the goal line. He'll bring it out. Gayden has had a couple of big returns this year. Hits the hole. He's across the 30 to the 35. Spun down around the 38-yard line. And we've seen that from Gayden a couple of times this season where he's able to really do some damage in the return game. He had a massive return in week 1, and here he gets out to the 38.
Going back to that Vandegrift defense, I believe that's their 7th total interception of the year. Of course, they averaged 10.8 points a game given up. But this defense knows how to get turnovers as well. And so when you see that pick 6 in that last play, of course, Aiden Jones getting the escort down the sideline, taking it all the way to the house for the pick 6. I believe that might be slept on in their kind of defensive formula.
The Vipers lead this 42-3, as I forgot to update the scoreboard for those just tuning in. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. This was a 7-3 game midway through the second quarter, and the floodgates just kind of opened after that. Vandegrift's taking control. McNeil offense, and Joshua Gayden a little late to get back out there. Soltz calls for the snap. He drops the snap. He's going to keep it around the right end himself. Gets the corner. He's able to pick up 3 or 4 on the rush. Actually about 5 or 6 yards out to the 44-yard line. Second down and 4 coming up for McNeil. Get you caught up on scores from around the area here in just a minute as well. And even check in on that Big Ten Score Fest where 17 points were happening tonight. Gayden with the handoff up the middle. Picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd and 2.
A lot of good college football to look forward to tomorrow.
Yes, and obviously the Red River rivalry tomorrow. Old man me still wants to say Red River shootout, but it's been Red River rivalry long enough.
I believe it has 3 or 4 different names at this point.
Yeah, my favorite one still is the cocktail party that you can't call a cocktail party down in Jacksonville anymore. 3rd and 2. Gayden flashes out right. They'll throw it over the middle. It's caught on a slant. Gary with the catch and rerun, and he'll get down inside Vandegrift territory to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yeah, Gary's had a little bit of a quiet night so far, as so this offense has, but great job by there responding, helping his young quarterback out with the slant, securing the ball, and moving the chains.
Well, in college action, Oklahoma State continues to lead K-State 26-15 early in the fourth quarter there. Bit of a surprising score. Soltz drops back on the pass, looks for Gary on the near side. That's batted away, incomplete. Nice defensive play from Aiden Jones. He of the pick 6 just a few minutes ago. 2nd down coming. Nebraska with a 17-7 lead over the Illini as they begin the second half of play in Champaign. Yeah, I'd say
maybe it's evening out, Brad.
It looked like Joshua Gayden dropped the handoff, was able to pick it back up, and then loses a couple of yards, it'll be 3rd and 12. Yeah, the two games, I think two biggest games in the college football tomorrow are happening here in the state of Texas. Obviously, the Red River rivalry in the morning, and then the showcase game in the afternoon as Alabama comes calling to College Station.
Nice day overall if you're a fan of any team from Texas. Rangers start their series tomorrow. Astros also start their series soon.
Handoff to the left side, and that's another loss of about a yard. 4th down and long coming for McNeil. I'll tell you the real sneaky game. You just mentioned the team that you have legendary status on in NCAA. Fresno State and Wyoming.
Oof.
In Cheyenne tomorrow night. Or Laramie, I should say, not Cheyenne. That's going to be a fun football game.
The Cowboys gave the Longhorns a little bit more they could handle in the beginning of that game for a second. It was a 10-10 ball game at one point in the third quarter.
If you hadn't been staying up to watch Fresno State at 9, 10 o'clock at night so far this year, you're missing a show. 4th and 12 here for McNeil. Schultz drops the snap. It's low. He picks it up, throws it out as he rolls, and it's thrown just short and incomplete, intended for Dayron Calhoun. And that will be a turnover on downs for the Mavericks. Vandegrift gets the football with 8:26 left in the contest. They'll take it over at their own 43. Get the Friday Night Football scoreboard activated and see what's happening in the area real quick. Again, scores from last night. Vista Ridge beat Westwood in district play 26-21 over the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. That's a big win for Vista Ridge. Kind of one of those games that a lot of these games, those battling for the last couple of spots in this district, they're going to be swing games, and you got to win them. There's a handoff up the middle, and out to the 50-yard line goes the running back. Looks like the 3rd running back used tonight for Vandegrift, as that was Kent Sullivan. New quarterback in the game as well for the Vipers. Drew Mestamaker has taken over for Deuce Adams. Messmaker has thrown the ball just 14 times this year. 7 for 14 on the season through the air. Georgetown beat Leander 52-21 last evening. Man in motion. Handoff to the right side. Cut back up the middle. And Sullivan has enough for a first down to the McNeil 46. Smithson Valley overtook Lehman 42-7. Pflugerville on top of Waco University 30-26 last night. Travis shut out Eastside 56-0. Game of the night, though, was Buda Johnson surviving a battle with the Austin High Maroons 20-19 last evening. Westlake pounded Anderson 67-14. Handoff again, and an 11-yard gain and a first down for Sullivan. In tonight's action, Bastrop continues to lead their rivalry game with Cedar Creek 34-0, start of the 4th quarter. Round Rock all over Manor, 35-13, start of the 4th quarter over in Manor tonight. Good one in the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex, Stony Point 21, Cedar Ridge 14, that game with 8 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Another one of those swing games we talked about. New running back checks into the game. There's a handoff, and it's Fournier who picks up about 3 or 4. We got a battle in Georgetown. Glenn 38, Eastview 35 with 5 minutes to go at Birkelbach Field. 3 teams call that place home. Georgetown, Eastview, and Southwestern.
Southwestern. Got to educate myself around this area. Still a little new, folks.
Oh, Southwestern Pirates of the D3, Division III college football. Got to broadcast a few of their games a few years ago. A lot of fun. Rouse a 32-20 lead over Belton. 8 minutes to go in the 4th. Another handoff to Fournier. Up the middle he goes, kind of runs over his own blocker and picks up about a yard or 2 up to the 29. Killeen Chaparral 42, Elgin 18. They're in midway through the 3rd there. Final, Robinson has beaten Salado 28-16. Granger with a 9-point lead over Iola, 23-14, midway through the fourth. Starting the fourth, Lake Belton all over the Kangaroos of Killeen, 45-21. Third down and 4 here. Handoff up the middle. And good enough for a first down for Ben Emanuel out to the 18-yard line, the 23-yard line. College Station doubling up Cedar Park, 56-28 at Gupton Stadium. That game about to go final. College Station A&M consolidated 35-0 over Hendrickson in the third quarter. Cleburne and Colleen Ellison in a good one, 14-13 with about a minute to go. Manor New Tech 18, Austin achieved nothing. Smithville 15, LaGrange 6. They say that's in the half, but I don't think that's just been reported and updated. As Emmanuel pushes forward and picks up another 6 or 7. Canyon Lake 42, Marble Falls 13. Dripping Springs crushing Aikens 45-0 midway through the third. Good battle over in Taylor. The Ducks with a 27-21 lead over San Antonio Davenport midway through the third. Wimberley 49, Gerald 7. Started the fourth there with the Texans on the lead. Tie ball game between Cameron Yo and Little River midway through the third, all knotted up at 21. Another handoff. So the right side they go this time. It's Emmanuel who picks up 2. Hutto has taken the lead over Colleen Harker Heights, 28-23 at the break. Lake Travis shutting out Del Valle 45-0, start of the fourth quarter. Down by Coda. Hewitt Midway leads Temple 34-8 at halftime. Troy 21, Rockdale 3 in the third. Holland over Thrall 21-14 early in the third there as we have an injured player down. Lexington 48, Florence nothing in the fourth quarter. Weiss on top of Copperas Cove 28-7 at the half. Weimer leads Thorndale 21-13 midway through the third quarter. Crockett a 34-3 lead over Navarro early in the third. Lampasas has opened up a 2-touchdown lead over Burnett. And the game was tied at 7 at the half. It's now 21-7 in favor of the Badgers. And finally, McCallum with a 42-0 lead over Austin Northeast. No report yet from Lassa and LBJ. Here it's 42-3. Vandegrift leads McNeil with 3:37 to go in the contest. It is third down and 4 for the Vipers. Handoff right side. Zaid Oliver pushes his way into goal-to-go territory around the 10-yard line. First down. Vandegrift in no hurry, but just keeping the ball on the ground and grinding out this drive and trying to grind down the clock and get out of here with their well-deserved victory.
Yeah, well-deserved indeed. Just dominated this game from about the second part of the second quarter onwards. And like I said before, they have some mistakes. Obviously, it's not glaring issues, but they definitely want to correct some of those penalties they had, especially in the second half, that just weren't necessary at all.
Oliver picks up 7. Down to the 3-yard line he goes. Second and goal coming. Down to 2:45 left in the contest.
For McNeil, you got to shake this game off. And you know, it's a week-to-week game that football is. And so your schedule gets a little bit easier. Of course, Vandegrift's the titan of this district. But you have a chance to rebound next week and the week after. And anything can happen in district play, as I said before.
Yeah, we'll go back over that schedule here in a second. First off, a handoff up the middle, and Oliver stacked up. No gain on the play. Third down coming. Game against Westwood next week. Then Round Rock, Stony Point, and Cedar Ridge to finish it off for McNeil this year. And I think when you look at that schedule and you really pay attention to it, you say, well, there's nothing on that schedule that the McNeil Mavericks can't win.
Sure.
You know, there's Round Rock's 2-0 in district. It looks like they're about to go to 3-0 tonight, but they're only 3-3 overall this year. As a handoff to the right is pushed back, and McNeil's holding tight here. It'll be fourth down and goal.
Yeah, and I know it can be demoralizing having the up-and-down season that McNeil has had this season. Of course, winning the first 2 games, losing the next 2, having a nice defensive game, winning 7-6 last week, and then eventually having a kind of a blowout game this game. But what you're saying right now, if you're Coach Hermes right now, is that you still have plenty of season left, plenty of district play left. Depends on how bad you want it if you want to creep into the playoffs. Plenty of opportunity left in the schedule.
Yeah, assuming scores hold, Maynard's going to fall to 1-2. McNeil will fall to 1-2. Westwood is 1-2. Cedar Ridge is going to go to, I think they were losing, right? So they'll be 0-3? Is that what we said earlier?
I believe.
And then I got to check that Stony Point score. As they run over the right side is stopped short. McNeil held him at the 2-yard line. Turnover on downs as the McNeil Mavericks bow up, show some pride here late with less than a minute to go, and hold the Vipers outside of the end zone. It's a good fight there from the Mavs.
I know that was not all the number ones that you expect from this McNeil defense, but that goes a long way right there, showing that you still want it in the late stages, even though you're getting beat by this great margin right now by Vandegrift. But it goes a long way to show some pride right here. Just looking forward to next week, keeping your head held up high. Going to be a long day of weightlifting when you come back, but of course you're going to have film, try to correct yourself, correct the mistakes you had, especially on the defensive side and also on the offensive side. Plenty of stuff to look forward to this team. There's no reason to hang their heads.
Well, this should be the last possession of the game, you would think. 56 seconds to go as the Mavs will go down to defeat tonight. But this was a really good game here for a while. Get you caught up on what's going on in district play, because the standings are pretty interesting when you really sit down and break this out. First play gets a couple of yards. So Vandegrift's going to move to 3-0. Round Rock's 3-0 after their win tonight against Maynard. Vista Ridge goes to 2-1, and then everyone else is either 1-2 or 0-3. So
wide open.
This is wide open for the final 2 playoff spots here. A handoff up the middle, stopped short by Vandegrift. That's probably going to be the final play of the ball game. But yeah, this is a wide open district with 4 games to go, and when you look at 3 of the 4 games on the schedule, Westwood, Stony Point, and Cedar Ridge, they have a combined 2 wins in district right now. So if you're McNeil, certainly some games that are possible to pick up some W's and go fight for one of those last 2 playoff spots, because you would imagine at 3-0 right now, Vandegrift going to probably win this district. Round Rock more than likely going to sneak get one of the other 2 playoff spots, but there are 2 that are up for grabs for 5 teams battling it out. Here we have gone final. Vandegrift has won this ball game by a count of 42-3 over the McNeil Mavericks. We're going to step aside for just a second, come back, wrap it all up. 42-3, your final. Vandegrift has won it. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
Final score here in Round Rock, 42-3. Vandegrift has beaten the McNeil Mavericks. Brad Tillery and a now deaf Joseph Duffy up here with me as I just blew his ears out with the comeback music. Sorry about that. 42-3. Vandegrift has beaten McNeil. We'll tell you how it all went down real quick. Vandegrift got the opening kick. They took it down the field, and it was a 44-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Adams to Miles Coleman that made it 7-0. McNeil, though, answered right back. They went on a 15-play march, took up 73 yards in 6 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock, settled for a field goal, but it was 7-3, and it would stay 7-3 for quite a while. Vandegrift had an interception on the next drive. McNeil with a chance to take the lead at that point, but went 3 and out, had to punt. They forced Vandegrift for another punt. McNeil got a bit of a drive with 10 plays on their next possession, ended up having to punt, and then finally Midway through the second quarter, Vandegrift began to take over. It was a 6-play, 38-yard drive, and I think the play of the game happened right before that.
Yeah.
That changed the entire momentum. Miles Coleman on a punt return fielded the ball at the 5-yard line. Looked like he was tackled. Turns out he wasn't. Knee never went down. He ends up returning it all the way to the to the McNeil 38. Sets up Vandegrift on a short field, and Vandegrift never looked back from there. It was a 38-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 10-yard run from Brendan Fournier to make it 14-3. The Mavs would go 3 and out. Vandegrift gets the ball right back. They go on another short touchdown drive. This one 9 plays, 48 yards, 28-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Adams to Eli Adams to make it 21-3. McNeil with a 3 and out again. Vandegrift gets the ball with 22 seconds to go in the second quarter, and right before the half, they throw a 45-yard Hail Mary. Third touchdown pass from Deuce Adams to Jordan Oliver from 45 yards out on the tip drill Hail Mary. 28-3 at the half. That just kind of took all steam out of the game at that point. And then in the second half, Vandegrift on their first possession after forcing McNeil into a 3 and out. The fourth touchdown pass of the night from Deuce Adams went to Jace Skaglin. That was a 12-yard touchdown pass to make it 35-3. The final touchdown of the game for Vandegrift came later in the contest, right before the beginning of the fourth quarter. Right at the beginning of the fourth quarter, I should say. On the first play, it was a pick 6 from Aiden Jones, and that is your ball game. 42-3 in favor of the number 5 ranked 6A team in the state. The Vandegrift Vipers stay perfect. They move to 6-0 this season and 3-0 in district play. McNeil falls to 3-3 and 1-2 in District 6A, or District 25 in 6A. Your final thoughts, sir?
Yeah, McNeil, I know this is not the game they wanted to have, especially coming off a defensive battle that they had last week. But as I said, plenty to look forward in this district. Any man's ball game, especially in those 3 and 4 seeds in this district. Overall, they need to get back to the bread and butter, I believe. The first quarter, they were starting to move the ball efficiently, looking more towards the midfield part, trying to find, of course, their receivers. But, again, going back to the receivers here, more help needs to be had for their young quarterback sophomore, who's having a little bit of a struggle late stage of the game. But you need to help him out a little bit more, less body catches, more hand catches, securing the ball, knowing where you are in the field so you can have the first down marker. Overall, this team, there's obviously so much to work on, but there's no reason to have your head hang pretty much because there's still much time left in the season, and you want to make a playoff run at any stage.
Yeah, we just talked about the wide open run for those last 2 playoff spots here in this district, where 5 teams are now 1-2 or 0-3 going into the final few weeks of this season. 4 games left to go for McNeil, a lot to play for the Mavericks, and no shame in losing to the number 5 team in the state in Vandegrift tonight. The next game for Vandegrift, they will be right back here at Dragon Stadium on Thursday night taking on Rawk. That's a game you can see on the iHSFAN network. Also, next week for McNeil, another game you can see on the network. I won't be with you. We don't have another McNeil broadcast. Myself and Ike will be back with me. We don't have one until the 27th, I believe. We got 3 weeks off. So, because the way it works is we try to do one broadcast on the network, and, well, because McNeil will be playing other Round Rock ISD schools, it'll be covered elsewhere. So, anyway, for the McNeil Mavericks, the next ball game will be next week at Westwood. I believe that game is being played at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex, so go check it out in person or watch it right here on the network. How do you make sure you get all the alerts? Well, go to the iHSFAN on YouTube, I should say. Make sure you follow us, like us, all that kind of stuff, and subscribe to the channel. Every time a game starts on the network, you'll get the update. You'll be ready to go, and you won't miss a minute of action all season long, as the McNeil Mavericks have 4 games left in this regular season. 3-3 so far, 1-2 in district play, but a big one next week against the Westwood Warriors. For Joseph Duffy and all of us here on the iHSFAN Network, I'm Brad Tillery saying good night, everyone. Have a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy this fantastic fall weather that we finally get to have at it. Have a great Saturday as well. And a reminder, it's 9:36. You know what that comes after that. I'm not going to have to say the rest. Good night, everyone. Have a great time.